Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. I'm sorry for being here a little late. First and foremost, thank you to my counsel here for not saying much to me for being in here late. Usually I'm never late, but had a little thing at home. Anyways, the regular meeting of the Dearborn Heights City Council is called to order today at 5:58.
6:04.
6:04 p.m. Madam Clerk, can you please take roll call?
Yes. Hassan Ahmad.
Present.
Mo Baidoon.
Here.
Nancy Breyer. Absent. Robert Constant.
Here.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell.
Here.
Hassan Saab.
Present.
Tom Wenzel.
Present.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
A lot of presents in the room today, Madam Clerk. Thank you for that. And then we're going to go ahead and start off with the Pledge of Allegiance with our Director of our library, Mr. McCaffrey. Please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Mr. McCaffrey. Next up, we have a presentation from the Sons of the American Revolution. Please give them a round of applause. Mr. McCaffrey, if you can just lead us in the beginning of what we're here to expect, and then we can, or unless you want to just
Do you want us
have them begin.
Yeah, I believe Mr. White's going to start the presentation. Thank you.
My name is Chris White. I'm the Veterans Committee Chairman of the Detroit Metro Chapter Sons of the American Revolution. I'm joined here today by Chapter Secretary Greg Winters and Michigan Society President Joe Williams and our friend Michael McCaffrey. One of our projects is identifying graves of Revolutionary War patriots throughout Michigan. In addition to marking their graves, we began installing roadside plaques identifying the cemeteries with graves of one or more of these patriots. After research and discussion, we chose Major Thompson Maxwell. His grave is located at the Wallaceville Cemetery here in Dearborn Heights. Major Thompson Maxwell participated in the French and Indian War as a teenager, participated in the Boston Tea Party and several notable battles during the American Revolution, and was captured by the British during the siege of Detroit as an older band during the War of 1812. After contacting the Dearborn Historical Museum for more information, they put me in contact with Michael McCaffrey, director of the Dearborn Heights Library. Michael was interested in our project from the get-go. He met me at the cemetery real early on a Saturday cold morning, and we were off and running. From the initial planning to the execution of the dedication ceremony, Michael was crucial to making this project a success. To say we could not have done it without him is an understatement. He assisted with writing Major Maxwell's biography and the text for the plaque we installed by the old schoolhouse. He also acted as liaison between our organization and the city of Dearborn Heights, and we thank you all for the time here and for allowing us to pursue our project. He was instrumental in setting up and executing our dedication ceremony, and we could not be more appreciative of all his efforts. Joe?
What's that? Okay.
In appreciation for all his efforts and patience from the beginning of this project until the dedication ceremony itself, we honor Michael McCaffrey, director of the Dearborn Heights Library, by presenting him with the SAR Silver 250th Anniversary Medal from the Michigan Society and Detroit Metro Chapter Sons of the American Revolution. This medal is designed to recognize those who participate in events that recognize and honor our patriot ancestors and the events of the American Revolution. Michael, we could not have done this without you. Thank you.
Okay. Michael, here's your certificate. Thank you. And here's the silver medal.
Thank you very much. I'm really appreciative of this honor today. I definitely want to say thank you to Chris White, Greg Winters, and the Sons of the American Revolution for improving our city and shining a beacon of positive energy to our community. Thanks to all the good people with building maintenance, the council, the administration, and Chris DeShawn for getting the site ready. He did a lot of work, including installing the plaque. And of course, all the residents of the city who helped make this possible. So thank you very much. I'm very appreciative, and thanks again. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Mr. McCaffrey. It goes without said, everybody knows inside and outside of the city, the great work, the hard work that you do at our libraries. Really, probably one of the most hardest working employees I see at City Hall. And I want you to know, there was one time where I went out and I was walking into City Hall to pay my water bill, and there was Director McCaffrey trimming the bushes of the libraries. And I want you to know, to me, that was just speaks of character, speaks of true leadership, because he didn't ask somebody else to go trim the trees. He didn't pick up the phone and say, he said the bushes needed to be done. Hell, I've been trimming bushes at my house for a long time. I can do it here. So he treats this place like it's his. And really, Mr. McCaffrey, Dearborn Heights, the residents, everybody's lucky to have you. So one more time, thank you to yourself. Anything else from the other council members?
Council Chair?
Yep, Councilman Wenzel.
Well, ditto what you said, but, Mike McCaffrey, he's involved in so many historical things in the city. We have a cemetery on the south end, the Nolan Cemetery, that he's got his hand in all the time. He's keeping it, maintaining it, cutting the bushes and doing the markers. And I've mentioned it several times, the Little Red Schoolhouse gravesite for Thompson Maxwell. And me and my family, we've been to every event there. And the presentation by Mike and what he gets ready for everyone, and the Sons of the American Revolution coming out, and they've been dressed in period, and it's such an awesome event. And we should have 300 or 400 people showing up for those events, because it's part of our history. And because of you guys, you keeping it here in Dearborn Heights. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council members? None?
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. McCaffrey, especially for the Nolan Cemetery and helping clean it up, and for this presentation.
That was also a good job.
And just overall, thank you for everything you do in the city, and the kids and children of the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're all very proud. Thank you so much.
All right, next up, we have the agenda approval.
Council Chair?
Go with Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the amended agenda for the regular meeting of August 27, 2024, as submitted with the adjustment that item 11D from Mayor Bazey resolution expressing concern regarding the radioactive waste scheduled to come to Wayne County, Michigan, be moved to Section 8, reports from mayor to be considered as a receive, know, and file.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab.
Council Chair?
Any discussion? Councilman Ahmad.
I was thinking if we could maybe table item 8B so we can get more maybe take a study session. I know we approved 3 positions last time for the police department. The budget is tight. And I think we need to look into this further. I don't want to take time.
Which one is this?
8B,
Be specific, Councilman.
logistics coordinator position.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Support.
Any other discussion? Councilman, can I ask why we're removing it?
Like I said, Council Chair, we just approved 3 positions for the police department, and I know our budget is really tight. I hate to see money coming out of the police officer's account. And I think if we can take it to a study session just to discuss it further versus, discussing it today and take the people's time, so.
Okay.
That's my recommendation.
Okay.
So, Council Chair, I just want to add to that too, that my issue with it was that I see that was brought to us and it says that we moved from the police salary fund. So that's, I'll second the table it.
Okay. George, we're gonna make this one a priority on the next study session between that and the 3 ordinance officers that I know Councilman wants, so I'm gonna have lead us on. So we'll do that, and then we'll have this here as well, and maybe Chief Swope will be there as well. Well, I'll get with you and we'll get something going on it.
Council Chair,
Yep.
I'm just curious why we would just receive, note, and file the resolution regarding the radioactive waste coming to Wayne County, as opposed to pass the resolution and send it on to other.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to have all of us on there in support of this.
I thought it was on the agenda.
Yeah, but it's a
It is.
receive, note, and file, so it's.
Because it's presented by another organization. It wasn't something that it was requested to be adopted by you.
Well, we'll amend it and we'll get out there, we'll all add our names. Thanks.
Council Chair,
Yep.
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
what organization requested it?
I think it was Central CWW, I think.
The Conference of Western
Central
Wayne.
Wayne.
Central Wayne, okay.
Authority.
Thank you.
Yeah, any other discussion, guys? Hearing none. Motion made by Councilman Ahmad with the removal of 8B, seconded by Councilman Saab. Hearing no other discussion, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have the approval of the minutes.
Council Chair,
Councilman Saab.
move that Dearborn Heights City Council approve the minutes from the regular meeting of August 13, 2024 as submitted.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Let's do that again.
Aye.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up on the agenda is public hearing and comments on agenda items only. I did receive a couple of, maybe 3 or 4, probably the most I've ever received on some extension times. I do want you to know, if you ask for an additional time, which I was being very generous with, this is on agenda items only. This is not a public comments issue, concern. So if you want to speak on anything that's on the agenda, you can voice your concerns then, only on agenda items only. So please step up. We'll start off with, please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on, and then we'll start your time.
Hi, my name is Ronnie Audia. I actually am not a resident of Dearborn Heights. I'm a contractor, and we submitted a bid for the local street project, and I wanted to discuss that.
Which one? I'm sorry, we have a couple of them.
Oh,
Hold your
okay.
timer.
Yep, I'm sorry. It is the 2024-2026 Streets and Sidewalk Repair Program
Okay, what company you with?
7B.
Pardon me?
What company you with?
with Audia.
Audio, okay.
Okay, let her finish her time, save your questions to the end. Start her back for the 3, she's got 3 minutes. She has for an additional minute, right? You're the one that called me?
I did, yes.
Okay. She's got 3 minutes. Go ahead, you can begin.
Okay, so I'm here today because this is the second time that we've submitted a bid for this project. It was rebid, actually, this is the third time it's been rebid. It was rebid in the spring, and then again, just this past month, twice. The last 2 times we were a low bidder, and we were a low bidder, or no, actually, we were a second bidder on both of them. And so my concern is with the low bidder this time around, I have never heard of this company. I've been in business for 28 years. I've talked to some of my competitors, and we've never heard of this company. And so my concern is that I wanted to make sure that due diligence was done and references were checked for this company to make sure that they can do a project of this magnitude. We are an MDOT certified contractor, as well as almost all of the other contractors that bid this project. So that's what I'm here for.
Okay. So your concern is about the contract for the street pavement repairs?
Correct.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
ma'am, I have a question. What were you said you bid it 3 times?
I bid it twice. The
Twice?
first time was in the spring. We didn't bid it at that time because we had other contractual obligations with other municipalities. But we did bid it last month, I believe it was last month, and then again just recently. And both of these last 2 times, we came in second, and they've both been rebid now. So
What was the change in the work order for it to be rebid?
I don't know. So originally, from what I was told, the reason why it was rebid the last time was because there's a discrepancy in the advertisement, and a contractor turned in a bid late because he thought it was, I don't really realize why. What I think a bunch of other contractors turned in theirs on time.
Hold your time.
Can you spell the name of your company?
Sure.
AU?
AUDIA, Concrete Construction. We are out of Milford.
Thank you.
Council Chair.
I just, before, Councilman, if that's okay, I just want you to know, for full disclosure, the city council doesn't even know when something goes out for a bid. We don't
Okay.
even get notified. We have no information of any of that is happening. So it ultimately happens to the administration.
Right.
And this particular one would be Mr. Deeb and the mayor or his department, I'm not sure. And so however they choose, they just bring it to us. They say, we chose this person for whatever reason. They put it in a backup. We either, concur with them or, we don't.
Right.
So I don't want you to think that anybody on this body.
No,
up
I
here made
understand
any of
that. I
decision.
understand that.
We don't look and review, compare them. We don't do any of that. We've never done any of that. So it ultimately sits back on the mayor and his, whichever department that is going out for the bid. In this sense, it would be Mr. Deeb, is that correct? Maybe you can leave your information with George, or Mr. Deeb can respond to you right now if you'd like. I don't have an answer. I don't think.
Sure.
Any of the council is going to have an answer. Your concern would be with Mr. Deeb. But Mr. Deeb, if you want to respond to her, or he can go when he presents it
That's fine.
to the council. So
Okay.
that'll be coming up pretty soon.
Sure. Okay, thank
You
you.
can stay here for that vote and you can see what happens.
Okay, very good,
And then
thank
if you
you.
want, you still actually have a minute. I usually don't do this, but because you asked for an additional minute, I didn't spend your time. If you have anything to ask, any questions or say anything to us, I guess I will give you 30 seconds during the discussion.
Okay, well, like I said earlier, my concern is I wanted to make sure that the due diligence was done and references were checked on this contractor.
Is there a reason why you feel like they wouldn't be?
Because I've never heard of this contractor. I've spoke to some of my, some other contractors that we're compete against, and nobody has heard of them.
To be fair, though,
Mm-hmm.
for young rookie companies coming up and, up to play, maybe they're bidding extremely low because they feel like,
No, it has nothing to do with the price. I mean, they weren't that much lower than us. When you go to their website, they say they're a remodeling company. And the name of their company, they have remodeling and they have home remodels. This is a street project. This is a multi-million-dollar street project. And a home remodeling, no.
I can't answer much on this. This is going to ultimately be on Mr. Deeb and the mayor, so I'll have, when that discussion is brought up.
Very
I'll bring
well.
that up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nothing from the audience, please. Come on, Benson. How you doing, sir? I know you asked for an additional minute.
Yes,
2
I
minutes.
did. Good afternoon. I was going to talk about a subject, but now I'm going to talk about her subject. I got a couple of questions for Mr. Deeb if she wants to answer. Should I suspend the rules, or you want me to talk to Mr. Deeb
Go ahead.
directly?
Mr. Owen, I'm not going to have you suspend the rules. You can speak to me, to Mr. Deeb. So speak to me as the council chair, not to Mr. Deeb.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, ask Mr. Deeb, what is the name of a company that won the bid?
Well, it's in our backup, and
It's in your backup?
Yeah.
Can you explain to me who was it?
A&G.
Ma'am, how many years has your company been in business?
28 years.
28 years, ma'am. How many years has the other company been in
I
business?
don't know.
That's the problem here. The problem is,
And
I'm
you
saying,
let
the
me
way,
resume?
this lady came over here and asked, because she's probably put bids multiple times, and you guys are favoritism, your friends.
We're not favoritizing anybody.
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
I am
Owens.
speaking.
Please choose your words correctly.
It is correctly. You're talking about a remodeling company. Are we remodeling a bathroom? We're doing a street. She said it. If you sit there and see a remodeling company, I don't think you should approve the bid. Go back to the people that had 28 years experience. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
How many cities have you done work for?
Pretty much every city in the Metro Detroit area.
Except for Dearborn Heights.
I did work for Dearborn Heights many years.
How many years ago?
I couldn't tell you, I don't know.
About 10, 15 years?
Probably further than that.
You see what I'm talking about? 28 years, a company been in business, and we're just gonna shame them because of a remodeling company that we know? Come on, man. Remodeling what? What is there to remodel? Mr. Deeb, can you answer that question? What's the company called? You can't answer the question, but you work for the city, right? You get paid 100 and something thousand, you
right here,
can't answer
speak
the
to me.
question.
Mr.
I'm talking.
Mr. Owen, speak through me, not Mr. Deeb. Speak to me, please.
Yeah,
Let's get
ask him, how come he can't answer the question?
Okay, pause this time. Mr. Deeb, do you want to answer his question? He does not want to respond, he doesn't have to respond.
He doesn't have to respond. It means he's guilty of something. There you go. The lady said it. A remodeling company comes into Dearborn Heights, and then Mr. Deeb doesn't want to say nothing about it. I'm asking you guys, don't even approve it. Don't approve the bid. Look at the next bidder. 28 years, the lady come over here and say something's going on because she keeps bidding and you know, this is wrong. Come on, answer the question.
So how much is she paying you to talk?
That's not, she's not paying nothing. Don't worry about it. Go over there. Don't worry about it. She's not paying me nothing. Go over there. Go over there. Go over there.
Mr. Owen.
Go over there. Don't talk to me like that.
Hey, Mr. Owen.
Coming at me like that. How much she paying me? I don't need no money from her. I don't even know her.
Hey, Mr. Deeb, let's refrain from talking like that, especially to residents, please.
Yes.
Mr. Deeb, just, come on, you're in the professional capacity as the city engineer, he's coming in as the resident. Let's not
Listen,
speak
man,
like
let me
that.
say something to you. You don't
Right
come
here.
over here and
Mr. Owen.
you talk to a little petty with me,
Mr.
bro.
Owen, please come to the chair, please, start his time. Mr. Owen, let's just.
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
I said it was wrong, he shouldn't have spoken to you that way. I am sorry, on behalf of the city, I'm sorry.
No problem. Listen.
Let's stay calm.
All I'm saying is the lady
Thank you.
came up here. She's dizzy. She doesn't know what's going on. And he's coming at me in what's it called? Because he knows he's wrong. He's wrong. A remodeling company is not a construction company. Let's be honest with each other. I'm asking you, do not approve it until you see all the bids. You guys are the body. You guys see the bids, see who's more qualified, and approve it. Very simple. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Owen. Thank you, Mr. Owen. Mr. Ahmed also asked for an additional minute.
My name is Dr. Ahmed Baidoun. I'm here not to really cause any conflicts or anything like that. I just have a simple problem. I've been a dentist in the city of Dearborn Heights for 22 years. I set up my office right here on Ford Road in Fenton, and we opened for business 20 years ago. The problem that we have is with the alley. Mr. Bob Constance, he was my neighbor with a truck building. And the water damage that we have really occurred in the past few years after Mr. Mike, my next door neighbor, he remodeled his building, and somehow the building department approved him to raise the grading of his parking lot about 5 inches above our parking lot. When we approached Mr. Mike Sobah back then, when he was the building director, and what's going on here? I mean, shouldn't be approved. He said, no, the water is just going to be falling into Ford Road and into the alley, and should not really affect you whatsoever. Unfortunately, this took place about 6-7 years ago. COVID hit, and it was very difficult to really communicate. And then 2 years ago, I started a project to reface my building, remodel my office, and figure out what to do with the parking lot. I got a couple of companies to come in to give me a bid, and they said, Doc, there is a problem. I said, what's the problem? He said, your ground level is much lower than your next door neighbor. If we fix your parking lot, you're going to spend $25,000, $30,000 on resurfacing it. You're going to have issues because water is going to keep coming down. Your best bet is to put a catch basin in. We reached out to the city engineer, and we told them, you know what, we just would like to just simply put a catch basin in the parking lot so we can really get it into the alley. There is a water sewer drain that goes into the alley because the next door building across Fenton Street, behind that medical surgical center, they do have right in the alley catch basin. And Mr. Deep, he mentioned that there is a county ordinance that took place a couple of years ago, and we cannot really do anything about it. Even though Landmark Engineering, who was the civil engineering, who was doing the work for me, they said, this is an existing problem. We are not building a new building. So back and forth for the past couple of years, it's been back and forth. I'm sorry, I'm almost done here. I just want the city council, with the help of the city engineer and the mayor, to really help us solve this issue. This issue was brought upon our property from my next door neighbor, who had his building and all his plan approved by the building department of the city of Dearborn Heights, when Mike Sobah was the building director. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Council Chair,
Yes, sir.
to tell the doctor, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I'm real familiar with the problem.
Mr. Deeb, is that something that's doable? Can we, I know, I'll tell you guys, Dr. Baidoun is actually my dentist. I do have a chipped tooth, so I have to come see him soon, but anytime I did go into the back, there was always big puddles. There was always something in this issue in the last 3-4 years. I've always told him, like, I actually didn't tell him, I used to think, man, this guy doesn't want to fix up his parking lot. But now I can see where the issue, where you could potentially speak, so I know he
Okay.
spoke to me, he said just have a conversation with Mr.
So I replied to the doctor that tonight's agenda, 7C, is the asphalt, and that area is on the list of, it's on your agenda for approval. So if we hire the contractor, if you approve the contract tonight, we will have a contractor. Now, the city's responsibility is limited to the alley itself. However, if you look at the area, the parking is
His property.
north, but the alley was never closed. So the alley is a responsibility of the city. We understand that. But if I do the alley and pave it to match the elevation, raise it, his area is going to flood because he becomes low point, right? So I explained to him, once we get approval, and that was in an email to him and to his designer, once we get approval for the asphalt contractor, the city's asphalt contractor, we'll get him, along with his designer, to figure out which way. I still believe it could be sheet drained, but the rest of the parking need to be raised. So it needs to be uniform. I can't, if I raise my alley, the rest of it will be flooded. So I'm waiting for that approval. If I get this 7C approved tonight, one of the projects will be his back alley.
So I told him in our conversation, Mr. Deeb will work with you on getting this resolved. He's even requesting to even pay himself from his own funds for the catch basin, which not on the taxpayers or on anybody. He just doesn't want to see his parking lot get flooded anymore.
I might offer him a lower cost solution if the rest of it, because the entire parking lot need to be paved. We're only responsible for the alley. We're not going to park.
And he's not blaming the city, he's blaming the
No,
neighbor.
I understand. But if we raise that grade to match the adjacent, we'll have to do all of it so it sheet drained properly. I just don't want to do my piece and say, you flood.
Doc, can you give your
We'll
number
work
to
with
George? George, can you email me and Mr. Deeb, the doc's information tomorrow? Just as a
Chair?
reminder.
Council Chair?
Yes.
Mr.
Councilman
Deeb, is part of the, wouldn't it be feasible to let him raise his grade, raise his parking lot, and keep our alley at the same level, so and put a catch basin in our
Right.
alley, so we wouldn't have to raise our alley,
So, no, so west of them, there is a parking lot that was done in concrete and they raised their grade.
All the way to the building?
West of his building. So I went to the assessor and picked up the owners. See, the real issue is we should have closed that alley and given it to the business years ago, but the city never did. So as a result, we manage the alley, but the businesses own and manage the parking lot south of the alley and the businesses north of the alley. See what I mean? So now if I do mine, I have to coordinate with the rest of the grade. Otherwise, if I raise mine, they're going to flood.
We're not entertaining the idea of putting a catch basin in the alley, are we?
It might be cheaper to sheet drain it the way it's supposed to sheet drain to the streets. If we do all of it, we can sheet drain it. That's how it was supposed to
Mr. Deeb,
work.
that entire, even like I have that Clover Mortgage right behind it.
Yeah.
And
There's
the
six
entire
proper-
alley, like if you guys, I swear, it's like me jumping from here to the ground. The potholes go so deep.
So it's not the
insane.
potholes. So if you look west of them, he's absolutely right. The doctor is right. There is a parking lot that's concrete west of them, and it's raised quite a bit. So I need to match that grade if I don't want to flood the area. So that's what we need to do. It might be cheaper to sheet drain it and do it properly and have it sheet drained.
But what's even cheaper? If he's willing to pay for it.
I will be happy if we ever find a solution to all the alleys in the city, because I mean, I don't know why we are maintaining business alleys.
Yeah, sell it to him.
Okay,
Vacate it.
it's not mine to sell, but I mean, there should be an alley.
But we're paying for what they're using.
Sir,
Why would the taxpayers
this is
pay
not-
for the dentist's alley?
That's not the only, yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, 100%.
Go ahead.
Mr. Deeb, when you say the alley, so the building, the road, that's the alley you're talking about?
Yeah, so
Where
if you
the
look,
cars-
yeah, it's part, but there is a parking lot north of it, and on both sides. But the alley was never given. This is not unique. We have that behind almost every business in Dearborn Heights. It just, I don't know why that is, absolutely. Why should we, yeah, it should be given to the businesses. I can collect taxes and then have them maintain it, yeah.
We don't even want to collect taxes. We don't want to maintain them anymore.
think that's a great idea, because it's all along.
I have a
Council
list,
Chair?
I have a list of things that I wanted to give to the properties person once we have one, but
Council
that's one
Chair,
of them.
years ago, we had an issue in the planning commission, a long time ago. But it was a similar situation, and we were selling an alley part to the business. And all the other businesses rejected because they could put up a barricade, they couldn't drive through the alley anymore. So it's a touchy subject, giving that property to that business, because, you know.
Well, you would put a deed restriction saying you can't close out the alley.
Well, yeah,
because
I mean, it's.
You would have to,
not-
you couldn't, because there's 7 businesses on there. Who's gonna determine on who can close and who can't? You just put a deed restriction.
If it's
There
your,
you go.
if it's your
Can't-
property, you can build a wall there.
Well, that's what the deed restriction
Yeah,
would stop
yeah.
it from doing.
But Councilman, they're using it anyway, so I mean, I'm looking at the markets, you know, they're actually using it. It's being used.
We'll
So
Yeah, I know,
discuss it
I'm
when-
all
Either
for
sell
selling
it to them
but
or
we
give
don't
it to
wanna have
them.
someone- That was
I
an issue,
agree.
someone was building a big giant planter box right across to keep traffic from going back. That was a long time ago, but that's what we don't want to have that to happen. If we go around selling all of our alleys, vacated alleys to the business owners, you gotta be careful. You have to have, like council chair was saying, you have something that.
The council chair is a real estate person, yes. we
I'm
can
not
put
I'm not a real estate person, just for full disclosure, so.
Okay, we'll put a deed restriction, I guess, something. I just can't see us going in, because there are businesses that are completely using the alleys and then calling me for repairs.
I just want you guys to keep in mind, we've probably spent millions of dollars on alleys that, you know, and that's great for our residents, but let the business owners keep it and maintain it. Why are the taxpayers paying, you know, that lives on, you know, I don't know, Wilson, paying for the one on Fenton? Doesn't make sense.
Agree.
No?
Agree.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Deeb. Anyone else in person regarding agenda items only? Agenda items only, please step up, state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on. You have 2 minutes.
Yes, hi, I'm here to talk about a house we just moved in with my daughter and her son and everybody.
I gotta pause you real quick. This is agenda items only.
What does that mean?
That means you can only speak on anything that's on the agenda. You can speak at public comments at the end.
At the end of the,
Yes.
okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Do I have to raise my hand at the end, or are you just
No,
going to?
you'll hear us just.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
thank you. Sorry.
And we'll let you start first.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Una loves it.
Yeah, love it. What's wrong with you?
Next up, we're gonna go to Zoom. I see Mr. Dana Parrish has his hand. I'm not gonna lie to you, I almost forgot about Zoom.
Good thing you didn't. Dana Parrish at Grinling Park, Dearborn Heights. Item 9A, I'd urge the council to vote no. The cascading effects on that for other city officials to be able to ask for legal representation could cost the city a great deal of money. Moving on to 11C, I respectfully request the city remove that agenda item. One reason is, right before the council meeting, I checked, that wasn't even posted. Just a placeholder on the agenda. The members of the public did not even have the chance to review that item. That would be more like a walked-on agenda item, and I know, Council Chair, you made a statement to all the other council members and to the mayor saying you did not want walk-on items on the agenda unless they were of a dire emergency or something that absolutely needed to be passed. I don't think this is an item that absolutely needs to be passed. Therefore, I think this item should be deleted from the agenda. Also, regarding the item, I did get a chance to read it because Council Chair was kind enough to send me a copy of this item. It has to do with items not being, Councilman Saab talking about items not being revised for the budget, the $750,000 cut. I recall in a previous council meeting that the council chair told Councilman Saab that if he wanted to see those $750,000 removed, that he needed to work on that and come forward with recommendations. I recall that very clearly. The first part of his statement, he says, in response to the administration's failure to implement the necessary budget cuts. That statement is patently false, sir. That's patently false. The statement you make, Councilman Saab, is incorrect. It's false. Councilman Saab, Council Chair Saab, told you in that council meeting after the budget resolution.
Mr. Parrish, was that 2 minutes?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Those 2 minutes were up, sir. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I think I got my point across. Thank you very much. I didn't see any counter on there, sir. I normally see a 30-second, 1-minute countdown.
Oh,
Thank you.
I know. If you want, I can give you time, I can give you 15 seconds.
Okay.
Give me a
Yeah,
15-second countdown, please.
Thank you. I normally see those things. That's very disappointing that you put that on there, and it seems like it's gonna be argumentative. I think we need to start getting along a little bit and try and contact each other before the meetings at least. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on Zoom? Tim Emery, our favorite, everybody's favorite trustee.
Okay. 8B, that's the waste site. I really consider you guys get together and send something in. I know years ago we tried with the injection well over in Romulus. I mean, that is on Inkster and between 94 and E-Force Road. I mean, that's in our backyard. We fought hard to get it with when John Dingle was in office.
I'm sorry, Mr. Emery, which one are you talking about?
It's 8C. 8B, but we need to fight to keep this hazardous waste out of Wayne County.
8C, just a resolution by the mayor. By the mayor.
Right. So please consider doing a resolution to keep that out of Wayne County, out of our area. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Right now.
Thank you.
Anyone else on Zoom? Anyone else in person? Seeing none, next up, number 6, fund transfers and current claims.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
I move that Dearborn Heights City Council approve the current claims in ACH wire transfers 6-1 through 6-50 as submitted. Support. Council Chair.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, hang on. Second, I can't write that fast. Seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion?
Yes. I'd like to remove a few items.
Few items?
Few items. Number one is, give me 1 second, try to pull it up here. Number 23, at the last meeting, we asked the mayor to send over the investigation. He said he would. And I have not received anything. Have you, Council Chair?
What is it that you wanted?
The IB Electric for $7,000.
No, I've not received nothing.
Okay. You guys recall the mayor saying he would send it?
Correct.
Okay, so I'd like
What
that.
item number is that?
23. And then item
Are you
30.
asking to remove that, or you just asking the mayor a question?
I'll have to remove it. I didn't get his email.
Okay. Mayor, you said you were gonna give us, there was an investigation, that you were gonna give us the report on it. You know-
Council Chair?
Yeah.
Okay, there was personnel in the report. Obviously, with anytime you talk about personnel, employees, I didn't send it. However, if you want to go into a closed session, the work was done, and there was an investigation that was done that somebody actually asked. I think IB Lighting's right here. He can speak to it. Mr. Busi, we did request, the city requested that he does the parking lot lights at the police station. He did what he needed to do. There was.
Hang on 1 second. Did our Zoom just go out? I know there's a bad storm out, but our TV's. Okay. Can you get Angela? Sorry, Mayor, I don't mean to cut you off. Can you get Angela to see if these TVs will turn back on? Seems like they were just powered off. Go ahead, Mayor.
Okay, so the work was done, it was requested, and there was an investigation which employee actually asked Mr. Busi to do the work. There's been disciplinary action taking place. Right now, the attorney, labor attorney has that. So I'm not gonna send the report at this time. However, Mr. Busi has done the work. The city asked, and we did, ask the council to approve it. The work has been done. It needed to be done. Obviously, it didn't go through the proper bidding, but the work was done. So there was no reason to punish IB Lighting.
Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind. You remember when we had this thing behind Blue Moon, and we spent $10,000 to trim trees and clean up debris, and we said, you gotta stop doing things like this? You're bringing this right back up. This has nothing to do with the council and IB Electric. So, Mr. Busi, I don't want you to think for a second, because I know the rumor that's going around, because I've heard it. The mayor's saying that the council doesn't want to give it to you. No, the council is saying to the mayor, you can't spend money and say, just go ahead and approve it without asking us. See, in fundamentals of government, the mayor or the executive or the president goes to the state reps, the the council or, whomever it is, the legislative body, they request, hey, I'd like to spend this money, and the body votes yes or no. In the mayor's world, that never happens. The mayor just spends and does what he wants and doesn't care what the council says. So the issue that we're running into right now is not the council versus IB Electric. We know you did the work. We know you've done a lot of work for the city of Dearborn Heights. The issue that we're running into right now is it's like the fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh time where the mayor just does things and doesn't ask the council for permission. So there has to be some type of check and balance. We should have went out for bid. We should have went out and said, from the rumor that I heard was the lights didn't match the other lights. Well, what we should have done was, if we were going to spend money on it, more than $1,500, go out for bids to fix those lights. I'm sure you could have been the cheapest bid. You could have been the best bid. They could have awarded it to you. We would have voted on it. We would have paid you. But that unfortunately did not happen. So now we're put in this position. So it's not about, we know you did the work. I mean, you're here. You did the work also when the check was sent over from DTE over to the city, and then we had to go ahead and approve it. Then an additional $7,000 was brought up on that day, and we had no idea what they were talking about. It was just another thing that was going to be brushed under the rug. So I want you to know, I want to make it very clear, the issue is not with the council and IB Electric. The issue is the mayor following the direction and being properly doing all the things that are right. Because you're putting this council at jeopardy. Now this council votes yes. We're now violating the charter under the administration. You know what the mayor's going to say? Well, you guys voted for it. Because that's what he's done to us on so many different occasions. Roger, please. Go through the council chair. I'm speaking to Mr. I know, but I'm in the middle of a conversation.
Okay, just
Please,
time-wise.
I know, but I'm in the middle, like when you're speaking, I don't just, I don't interrupt you.
Want to make sure I have.
The moral of the story is, because the rumor is we're like the council's always the bad people, I want to make it clear, the council's not the bad people. They're not. The mayor failed to come to the council because the mayor doesn't respect the council. That's why we're in this position. And so that's why you're also in this position. Please, Councilwoman, when I'm done, you can more than welcome speak. But,
Point of order.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary.
Thank you. Well, no, that's the truth.
It's not
It's the truth. The mayor don't respect us. I walk up and down Simone Street and tell people that the council is doing a job, or they're doing this to me, or they're doing that to me. That's where this frustration is coming in from. It's constant. And whether it's IB Electric or it's walking down Simone Street, he's bashing the council, and it's got to stop. So that's why we're in this position today. We're not in the position because we don't like you. And so I don't want you to think that we have an issue with you. Councilman Saab, Councilman Ahmad, Councilwoman Minalowski-Maxwell, Councilman Wenzel, Councilman Constant, and Councilwoman Breyer. Nobody has an issue with you. But we were elected to be fiscally responsible and to follow the charter. And this is not going through the charter.
Council Chair, before he speaks, that's a false narrative. The administration never approved anything with IB Electric, never saw a contract, never presented a contract. If you have a contract that shows the administration signed and approved IB Electric for the work, please present it to us so we can see it. We do not have a contract. Neither Mr. Van der Plow or anyone in the administration saw that contract. Neither did the council, and you are absolutely correct. You did not see it, we did not see it. That's the whole point of the investigation. If you look and see what's coming up, somebody approved it without a written signed contract, and I would love to see that presented to the Corporation Council so we can look at that contract and see who authorized $40,000 without the approval of the administration, Mr. Dibb, or anyone in City Council. We agree with you. However, we are not, the administration is not. The city did not approve this formally, but if you have it, Mr. Saab has it, please present it to us.
Hang on one second, Councilor. Mr. Bussi, when you were working there, I know you didn't put on lights. It didn't take you 30 minutes. Like, you didn't do it secretly. The administration, I'm sure, saw you working there. Did they not for 2 weeks? Did they not see you? Did the job take 20 minutes, or did the job take more than a week? Yeah, so they watched you do it.
Yes. First of all, I'm not saying anybody hit me or stuff like that. I know what's going on. It's mistake happen. I'm gonna say this mistake happened because as IB Electric, I did favor for police station through DTE program. It's not just police station. I did many place, even this place. You know what I mean? Without no charge, not I doing it for free. This is DTE pay me for that. And this program is federal program. This is for any commercial, and the city is a part of this commercial. Anyway, because my business in Dearborn Heights, You know what I mean? I did this a lot of favor. You know, I'm doing a lot of business in Dearborn Heights. I'm doing something is under table or stuff like that. When I did police station, I get authorization. What I know, you know, David
authorization?
Turfa is the chief of judge over there.
Who?
You know, David, the chief of, when he called me, can we do police station, do it, switch to LED? I told him yes. When I went there, I did survey, I got approval. You know what I mean? I did police station. After done the job, it's very easy and simple. You guys have department. This is do maintenance department. Mr. Michael. I forgot his name. You know what I mean? And Mr. Vanderpla, and I have evidence when he called me to do investigation with me. Not investigation, question. Who gave you authorization? What was that? Okay, after we done everything, I told him the lights, the $7,000, you give me authorization. He said, yes, I'm okay. I wanted that. He called Mr. Michael, you know what I mean? He called Mr. Michael, where's the dude maintenance in the city? You know what I mean? And told him, we need those lights. They called me and told me, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? I didn't do it.
Mr. Boosie.
Who called him?
Hold on.
Who called you? Told you go ahead and do it?
I forgot the name.
David
Vanderplow?
No.
Oh, Mike.
But Vanderplow has approved it too.
Okay, so,
Okay.
just Council Chair, I want to interrupt Mr. Boosie for 1 second. When we approved 27,000, I believe that, Mr. Boosie? 25 it was, there was an additional 7,000. When I recall, if we can pull that meeting back up, the $7,000 when we said, on the record, it was put that the director at the police department had approved that 7,000. Your exact word was, we're not paying it, he could pay it.
Yeah.
Remember? And that's what the $7,000 is. And the mayor's been running around the books and went from, I will supply you with the investigation, I'll give you, to now it's personnel issues, to take it to a closed session, going around the bush. Again, all I asked for was, I want to see this investigation. So if we're gonna play going across the board, if people are gonna get fired for authorizing something, they should be across the board. If somebody authorized $1 or authorized $10,000, it's gotta come to council. So that $7,000, I understand you did the work, and I fully agree with that. The problem is, I want to see the investigation about the $7,000.
Okay.
Because, Roger, please, Madam Clerk, can you pull up that meeting when the IB electric payment was made, please? Can you tell me the date of it? I'd like to pull that meeting up. I want the
You wanna pull it up
exact
right
date.
now?
No, I just want to see what date it was. Was it a month and a half? And we're still waiting for this documentation about the $7,000 we have not yet to receive. But if you want to investigate across, somebody in the city, it should be across the board, not certain individuals. So this is why I'm pulling this back until I see the evidence of who actually told you. And what we heard
100%.
from the meeting, Mr. Bush, you will get your money in full.
100%, but I told you, I did the job there.
And
It's-
100% with you. But the
I
thing
know.
is that we have a charter we have to follow. This is the taxpayers' money. This is not the money we can just hand out and
Where's
check
my
to
fault
people.
in this situation? Where's my fault? What I thought I did?
No, it's
Hang on.
not your fault.
Okay.
Hold on.
But another question, right now I have a lawyer, you know what I mean? You know, it's not just about $7,000, you know what I mean? Is my lawyer gonna involve this court and stuff like that? How much it costs the city right now? We agree for 7,000, how much it gonna cost the city? How much it gonna cost me?
It's whatever it's going to cost us is taxpayer money, Mr. Lucy.
Oh,
We have a responsibility.
100%, but
We
this
have a
is, when you
responsibility.
pay for the lawyer, you're gonna pay it from taxpayer.
I
The same
understand.
thing.
But
It's
this
the
can't
same thing.
continue. You can't pick and choose. You can investigate in the city. This has nothing to do with you. This is an internal issue.
This isn't even about the investigation. Councilman, hang on for a second. Let our foot off the gas a little bit. Mr. Boucia, the issue here that we're having is, this didn't go through the charter. So like, even if you were to hire your lawyer.
Because I'm taxpayer too. You know what I mean? I have a lot of business in Dearborn Heights. I'm taxpayer too. I pay from this money. So for for a big amount, they can say 50, 60,000, 40,000, 30,000, you know what I mean? But it's for I don't care about 7,000, by the way. But I don't city appreciate me because I did favor for police station or did any department in the city. So that's why I'm a little bit mad. It's 7,000. Lawyer is gonna cost me money for that, and you're gonna cost it's something. This is from taxpayer. This is, I know it's what's happened. I know it's fault over there. It's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. It's not that big deal.
Any other councilman?
Chair?
Councilman Wenzel.
You know, I'd love to give him his money. I'd like to approve it tonight. I have a question for you. Were you handling this account personally, or did you have another person in your business working with it? With it?
I have a survey. He did all
Now,
this.
Who gave you the permission to go into the building and do the work?
Okay, first of all, I told you, it start with Judge Torfa. You know what I mean? He told me, because I did many department here, were you able to do it this through DTE? I told him yes. He asked me, is it cost me any money? I told him, no, I'm gonna, do it as a favor. Whatever DTE they're gonna pay me, I'm gonna do it, because this is my city too. You know what I mean? It's police, whatever can help police. And this is happening where I said, you can do donation, you can do whatever you want. You can do favor, you know what I mean? So I did the job without no charge. I did entire the building. After I'm done, I got the call, not me, my survey. He said, look, this front of parking lot, because the light I will install it in the back is very bright. And by the way, then the front was 3 burned out. If you want somebody to fix it, they're gonna cost you more than that. I told him, no problem. I can take care of it. After they told me, we recommend do it matching together. I send them, this is cost $7,000. You know what I mean?
Who'd you send it to?
We send it to, I have Rick, not Rick. This is the department too. Michael and other guy. I don't have the names exactly, but I can.
Rick, the building director?
No, not here. It's where's the?
DPW?
Yes. We sent him, and he called me, and he was with me with Mr. Vanderplo when we did investigation about who gave you authorization. You know what I mean? And we have a recording. It says this guy. He said yes. We told him I'd be active to doing it. I can give you the name tomorrow. It's no problem. I forget the
Who
name.
gave you the authority to enter the building and do the work?
And inside the building?
Yeah.
Like Michael. After Mr. Judge Turfa, he told me, go ahead. If no cost money, do survey for us. I did survey. I told him, I'm going to do it no cost through DTE. DTE gave me $23,000 to do that. So that's why I did the job. After Michael, he said, if hell you can do it.
It was a freebie, right?
I'm sorry?
It was a free job.
Yes.
And then
It's not technically free. It's paid from DTE.
And then you came across an extra cost of $7,000.
Not, yes.
Yeah. And who did you turn that bill into?
Yeah, I have an office, like I told you, Michael, his name Michael, I think.
Michael Blackburn.
Yes, Michael Black, I'm sorry, yeah. So everything was through him. We have an email, we send him email, with calls, text message, we do it through him.
Any other discussion?
Council Chair?
Councilman Kant.
Am I wrong, but wasn't this the subject of a lawsuit and there was a settlement and it's been decided?
Yeah, there's an additional $7,000 now, if you want the taxpayers to pay.
I believe that, Council Chair, the lawsuit.
Hang on 1 second, let him finish. There was
That's
a
my
lawsuit,
question.
it's no longer available, they shut it down, they dismissed everything.
They withdrew the
their
lawsuit,
lawsuit.
so there was no settlement on the lawsuit, Council.
Correct. Any other discussion? Look, I will tell you for myself, Mr. Busi, you didn't do a mistake. You made 0 mistakes, but I'm sorry that you're in this position. The mistake was that it didn't come before us. This was never approved by us. Because nobody, Mr. Michael Blackburn, not the mayor, is allowed to spend any money in the city without the approval of this
But
majority.
he's, I believe, director maintains stuff like that. I believe, no.
Yeah, but
He's a director, right?
no, he's not a director, he was a supervisor. He was a supervisor.
Whatever.
Yeah, he was a supervisor. But even if he was a director, he wouldn't be allowed to spend the money without the majority of this council voting yes. So the position we're put in right now is, it's a very tough position because we know you, we like you on a personal level.
Yeah.
I really respect you as a person and for all the services you've done for Dearborn Heights.
By the way, the police station right now, they're saving electric bill. You guys are saving in 3 months, those $7,000. You know that.
Amazing.
Go check the
We
bill.
also have to be able to draw the line.
Yeah.
So and we didn't put ourselves in this situation. The council didn't do it.
Okay, whatever.
You know? Really, all the mayor had to do was just send over the documents of saying how this investigation went down. Because when the mayor would have sent it, you would have gotten your $7,000. To be honest with you, I forgot about it. Councilman Saab brought it up today. That's all the mayor had to do. Okay. Any other council members?
What was this discussion? This is to remove this?
Correct.
Yes, until we get this investigation emailed over.
Any other discussion? Hearing none? You guys have me all messed up right now.
Vote on it?
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant with the removal of 23.
I had one more item too. I had sent an email to the mayor did respond, I didn't get an email back from Roger regarding the Perkins Law Firm
You
invoice.
did get one from HR.
I did, but I just wanted to know that they said the meeting was canceled about this. But you talk here about hours and hours and hours of this, but there's never been a meeting with command for this, and this is more than one meeting, it wasn't one single meeting. So if one meeting was canceled, what about the other times that these discussions happened?
If I may answer, we were, Perkins Law Group, Ken Wilson was performing compatibility studies, exhibits on the pension for the officers, command officers, and patrol officers, retirement packages for patrol officers, command officers. I was present at the meetings, as well as the full package of how much the retirement will be. Retiree health care benefits, those are all being discussed in April, till we'll have meetings in June and July, and we have in August. So I think what you were asking, it wasn't me that responded, it's actually HR, I think, that's
Correct.
an email response.
Yeah.
And the HR was present at all those meetings. In fact, the compatibility exhibits are very detailed. They involve actuarial reports, and they have to be prepared to look at the calculations when the officers retire. I mean, some are as high as 6 million. But I'm not gonna get further into it because we're still in contract.
I'm not asking for that.
Okay,
I'm not asking for
we're
any
getting
details.
into.
I'm just asking if that.
But that's the work that was performed. There was a lot of detailed work. And, I can't say anything more than that, but we're ongoing. We have, meetings next week with.
So my question was
Patrol
to
and
you,
command.
Roger. Is that, so we're not using the other labor attorney no more?
Well, he's working on some other issues that we have, labor issues we have. Ken is an expert, as well as Howard Schiffman are both experts also in labor law, especially in the area of pensions, pension benefits, retirement benefits for Acts 312. Those are areas that they're specialized in that we are using them for. I try to get the best resources for us, keeping it at the 175 rate that you authorized me to charge. But they're well-known. Ken has represented the city of Detroit in a number of the labor issues in terms of, as well as other municipalities. Howard Schiffman's represented a number of Warren, a lot of other cities and other issues that we deal with. So I try to make sure it's detailed in the report, the bill that you have. But again, it's a lot of, calculations, and that's all I can say right now. But we are in contract negotiations. I know we have another one next week. In September, and I think that
Thank you, Roger.
Thanks, Roger.
Thank you.
No, God, just 23 here.
Then we're also gonna remove 37. This is Powers DMS Inc. This is I spoke with Chief Swope today. He actually wants to, just look back into this contract. He said he wants to make sure that our contract is still valid, and then he also has about a savings of $1,300 on this, so it'd potentially be, an $8,200 or $8,000 bill instead of $1,953. So he asked me to go ahead and just remove this, and he'll bring it up at the next meeting. So if we can also remove, can you amend your motion to remove 37?
I'll amend my motion to remove item 37.
Okay, can I get a second on that from Councilman Constant?
Yes, I second.
Councilman Saab, do you not want to amend your motion to, just put an end all, do all with IB Electric? I mean, I think ultimately here, everybody knows, the mayor failed at bringing this before us.
Council
and
Chair.
We can go ahead and just pay the man his money.
Council Chair.
I want to pay the guy's money and everything, but I want to see this investigation.
I mean, look.
I want to see the email.
Look, but I feel like the man did the work, they called him back.
Let's
It's,
vote on it. We took the oath to follow the charter.
Yes.
That's
Council
all
Chair.
that I'm bound by.
You know, I mean, but we've made exceptions for others.
I don't.
I don't either.
Council Chair.
Yeah, Councilman Constant.
I think the bottom line is the work was done, it was requested by someone with apparent authority. It's not for $100,000.
That's what I'm saying, it's,
There was apparently a personnel issue, but the gentleman's here, and thank you for coming, the work's been done. I say that, you know, we pay him, and we can put that in the motion, be required to get the paperwork for the investigation, but
Council,
that would be my vote.
Council Chair, just
Will
one
you
more
say,
thing.
will you say if you get the investigation, will we give him his money?
If he sends us the investigation, we'll release the money.
Yes. I
Is
agree.
everybody
We've
on?
already been
Mayor, can you give us
forward
the
on it.
investigation?
I need to talk to the attorney about that, Council Chair. And
I mean,
again, you
it
keep
was-
saying we,
There are hearings coming up at the Civil Service Commission, and author, based on the admissions today, there's some serious issues now with attorney work, client products that report has. But I think from the admissions today, there's some serious allegations that just came out. And I think we're gonna have to take this and understand that it was not the administration, not the city council. According to today, it was Mr. Blackburn. And I think that how that is part of an investigation that the report touches on. That's why I said it would not be released right now.
Okay, thank you. So motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant with removal of 23 and 37. Any other discussion?
Council Chair?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna vote no, because I think we should pay this gentleman here.
Yes.
But,
Well-
let's just see, you know, how the vote goes.
Well, we're gonna take it to a vote anyways.
Well, we're stuck here too long.
All in favor, I mean, anything else, Councilman?
No, thank you.
Council Chair, is 33 still on the agenda?
33 is still on it. Perkins is still getting paid.
Still
Yes.
on.
Yeah, no, I'll never remove it.
Yes, Councilman Constant.
I thought I heard Councilman Saab say that we would pay this gentleman $7,000, you know, with the guarantee that we'll get the results of the investigation.
Yeah, they could just add it to the next meeting, September 10th.
Because you know, as being in business for myself, I know it's hard to have something like this hanging out. If you go talk to a lawyer, have lawyer write letters and so forth and so on, it's,
Councilman, let's just take it to a vote. And then, you know, at the next meeting, hopefully it'll be sent over from the administration. Okay?
So the motion is to.
Eliminate 23 and 37.
Okay.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
no.
Motion, Madam Clerk, please take roll call.
Tom Wenzel,
No.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell,
Yes.
Robert Constant,
No.
Nancy Breyer,
No.
Hassan Ahmad,
Yes.
Hassan Saab,
Yes.
and Mo Bedun.
See what you get for being
Sorry
chair.
for the last one.
Look, I believe that the mayor is gonna send it over to us. So we're gonna just hold off one more time till September 10th. Let them send that over us and let's get a unanimous yes. I think that'd be, you know, bittersweet for all of us. So I'm gonna go vote yes on this.
Okay.
Motion carries 4-3.
Thank you.
Okay, after you paid me, I prefer this money, I'm gonna donate it in the city, something, any project you guys doing it to help the people, I'm gonna do it as a donation.
Mr. Boosie, just for the record, I want to say something. Mr. Boosie is actually a very, very well-known and generous guy in the community. And what he does for the community is he's a staple in the community, actually, how much he helps here and around the world, to be honest. Mr. Boosie, this honestly has nothing to do with you. You've been dragged through this for months, but honestly, we have a job, even you as a taxpayer, you expect us to represent you with your money best way you could, whether if it's $1 or if it's $1 million. And this is what this is about accountability and transparency. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with you, sir.
This is,
Council
because
Chair.
I'm here because I'm not doing something wrong.
Absolutely
did not.
not.
Doing- I
Again,
just-
this
I
has
just
nothing-
appreciate, it's not money. Like I
This has
told you,
nothing to
this
do with
money,
you.
I guys, whatever, any project in the city to help the people, I'm gonna donate it for
Thank
the
you.
people.
Yeah,
Okay,
Council
thank you.
Chair, I would have a chance to talk to his lawyers, because if the city receives donations like this, we may trigger some violations, just to be aware of
Yeah,
it.
let's-
You know it, so I
Speak
just.
to his attorney. Thank you, Roger. All right, next up is number 7, consideration of bids.
Council Chair.
Yep, Councilman Saab.
I move that Dearborn Heights City Council award the bid for school pedestrian crossing project PK contracting in the amount of $150,260, which represents the lowest bid by 10%. In addition, authorize the mayor and the clerk to sign the contract as outlined in 7A.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Margaret King is here, she'd be really happy.
Council Chair, I just had a question about this.
Yes.
It says here the lowest bids. Where are the other bids?
Council Chair, let me just get some background before I answer the question. So what you have before you is the preliminary results of the school crossing that we've been working on since last May. And what we identified, if you recall, the idea was that we were going to paint all the school crossings throughout the city after we determined all the proper location and proper number of schools, active schools in the city of Dearborn Heights. There were many, I'm not going to call deficiencies, shortcomings, whatever you want to call them. I tried to work with our DPW to see if they can, if you recall, ask them to paint all the crossings throughout summer before opening. And before we went out to a private company, we looked at the work that was done by the city and examined it versus, this study showed the critical items that were designed per the Michigan Uniform Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices. This is what the code requires. So we compared that to what we're doing and plus what the schools themselves are doing. And we found a lot of discrepancies. Things were non-compliant, pure, done wrong. In addition to ask our people to see if we give them the specs, if they can do it. And the answer was no. We don't have the equipment, the staff, or the familiarity with the material used. So what the proposal was, so I asked our consultant to put it out to bid to a professional company that does this for a living. PK is the company that does the state of Michigan traffic control devices, the painting for the freeways, and then give us a proposal to update all of our schools crossing one time with the proper material and proper equipment and proper design. And then for my staff, the DPW, I'm working with a new director, to shadow the contractor to figure out what we need to buy for next year, equipment-wise, because they can't use the proper material. Our machines, it's not paint. It's not something you buy from Home Depot or from Sherwin-Williams. This is a professional material that is designed to last 4 to 5 years. And then next year, I'm working with our staff so we can divide the 22 schools and do 6 every year for 4 years. And this way, we're constantly on top of this. I will never have to go back and paint with water-based paint that washes away after a month or two. So I asked this gentleman our designers to propose the specs so we know where are the locations and exactly what we're painting, and then to seek out proposals. So it was sent to 3 companies.
Sent it to 3 companies, yes.
And only one replied. And so since we only have one bidder, the one that replied, the PK, we took the next step and I asked them to compare those prices to what MDOT pays the same company for the same work. And those prices that they gave us are equivalent and below, average or below what they charge the state of Michigan. So I feel comfortable recommending them so we can at least get the issue, done around the schools. Yes, sir.
I looked at the bid.
Yeah, okay.
I read up on it a little bit.
Okay.
Never, I know there's going to be some type of reasoning why it happened, but never, and I'm going to tell you why you only had one bid. Never, if we ever went out for bid, did we had to pay weight trim. So what you're not noticing on that bid was the weight trim had to make money for somebody to bid on this bid, and that's, please don't nod your head.
I know.
So that's why you received one bid.
That's not true.
It is true.
It is not
because
true.
if I had to come bid for a municipality, offer my services, and I had to pay weight trim, I'm not giving them a dollar.
I received the same Facebook comments that you're reading from.
No, I actually pulled up the bid. and I looked at it.
They did not pay to submit bid. What you saw is the standard. I already asked them to correct that. So in the old days, when blueprints were blueprints and specs were spec books, the bidders used to pay for those. That requirement is still there. Today, it's all electronic. No one downloads it. We don't pay to download stuff. It's all electronic. So you can ask the gentleman, nobody paid to bid on the price. No one.
You give them back their money is what you did.
No, we distributed the plans electronically, free of charge, to the three contractors in question. Sometimes when projects are bid, we do solicit the contractors to come to the office to pick up plans for two reasons, specifically to be able to track who's purchasing the plans and going to bid, and also to make sure that they're looking at the most recent set of biddable plans. The price that we charge is like $35. It covers copies only. In this case, there was no fee charged. It was free of charge.
I mean, so this requirement will be removed because everything is being done electronically now. So you can download.
Was that a mistake?
It's old.
So the language in the notice to bidders should not have been there in the way that it was presented.
I mean, you guys have been in business for 30, 40 years now. I mean, that's things like this. I don't feel like, we shouldn't be throwing these things on here or forgetting about them, because in reality it makes things harder on our municipality. People are looking saying, well, I'll just go to Garden City. I'll just go to Livonia. I'll just go to Northville. I don't need to pay $35 for something like this.
Well, this, just so you know, like that requirement is an industry standard for projects that are bid through your consultants to bring the.
Consultants make a lot of money from us. We shouldn't be charging the people who've bid on it $35.
So it's only, again, it's only to cover the cost of printing for the contractors that come in and purchase the plans. It's not designed to, it's not designed to be lucrative in any form at all.
I just want to add one thing. So MDOT and Wayne County do the same thing. So if you are to ask for this book, the specs, they charge you for it.
So just, to kind of elaborate, now that it's done electronically, mostly, it's like through BidNet or Quest CDN, the contractors all pay a fee, not to us, to the platforms that operate them. They pay a fee to be able to access the plans anyway. So.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Thank you, Mr. Deeb.
You're welcome.
Council Chairman, what's the time frame on this?
End of October.
So December 1st is the substantial completion time, and there may be some weather dependency there, because it has to be 40 degrees and rising to apply the paint.
Is there any preparation work that needs to be done before, are they cleaned and
Yes,
washed or something?
they have to clean in the space where the paint is applied, it is clean.
So, Councilman, I know you and I talked about this, but in addition to what our staff is doing, so we have issues with the markings themselves. The school maintenance staff are doing things on their own too. So that's why I wanted at least one time to get the proper, by the way, this is not paint. This is like some heavy duty stuff with reflective glass beads in them. So that's why it's a specialty. It's not a paint you buy from Home Depot. It's a product that's supposed to be with us for 4 to 5 years. And if we put it under the proper maintenance cycle and do quarter every year, we will never have to revisit that issue again, unless a school is demoed or moved or built. But that's the plan. That's why I'm recommending do it professionally one time. Have our staff out there learn how to do it. I don't want to be in the business doing it every year. Have them do it. But so we get one start, one time, do it properly.
One more question. The equipment that we have to purchase, would that exceed $136,000? Would it be more feasible for us to pay these guys every year, or?
Be honest with you, Councilman, I've seen it done. I don't know what the cost of the equipment is, but it probably would be a lot cheaper if we use our own staff. It's a proper sprayer, but the idea is that this contractor has to erase the wrong stuff before they apply the good stuff. I'm just making that. But if we have it applied one time properly, then our staff will not have to, erase stuff. They'll just have to apply every, quarter, every year. So we're constantly looking at accurate, clearly visible with reflective beads. I've seen them apply it. I don't know how expensive that stuff is to put the glass bead and the.
Yeah, so the glass beads are actually.
Yeah, hand thrown, but the urea.
Yeah, the polyurea is applied
Polyurea.
with a specific type of sprayer.
Yeah.
I'm not certain of what the cost of that sprayer is.
It can't be $100,000.
But it's specialized.
Yeah, it's a specialized thing. Our staff are willing to do it, but I just want them to shadow a contractor so they can, do it properly. That's all.
Thank you.
All right. Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Hearing no other discussion, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, 7B, City Engineer Deeb, bid award 2024 through 2026 Street Payment Program Contract.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
I move that Dearborn Heights City Council award the bid for the 2024-2026 street pavement program contract to A&G Construction and Remodeling LLC in the amount of $2,622,180, which represents the lowest bid plus 10%. In addition, authorize the mayor and the clerk to sign the contract and the controller to return the bid bonds for the unsuccessful bidders as outlined in 7B. Council Chair.
Hold on. Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Councilwoman Breyer first.
Yes, I had a call today from one of the competing companies, and her remarks were that she has been in business 28 years, and that this particular company, I believe that Mr. Deeb does his homework, but this particular company is a remodeling
Right here.
company.
She's already talked.
She already talked, okay. And so I don't exactly, I think we should consider others as well.
Council Chair.
Consider what?
I think we should consider other companies.
Council Chair?
Councilwoman?
In my opinion, the lowest bid is not always the best. We've had issues in the past, and we need to do what we can to avoid quality issues like we have had. In the future, we need to avoid quality issues. We've had contractors who are not held liable for shabby work, usually because they're out of business. Examples are Canfield, Ice Arena, and the fire department. And look at the mess the fire department's in. We have no recourse. So we got to be
Is A&G
careful.
here?
Pardon me?
Is the bidder here? $2.2 million, did they come here?
I don't know any, I stay clear of all the bidders until after award. I don't know who the bidders are. I truly don't. I just review submittals. So I included, if I may, can I?
Well, hold on, let me finish from the council members, and then I'm gonna give out to Mr. Deeb.
So, Council, I had an email with Mr. Deeb over this. As you remember, last year, we had a contractor named Angel Cement. And we had really a lot of problems with in the city.
I agree.
This contract was reassigned to A&G Construction last year, which was a problem of its own with their work. And a lot of their work was incomplete. A lot of their work, Mr. Deeb said that it was something to do with the concrete mix. But just, they said that it was being reassigned to another company. It was the same employees, same equipment, same anything. And again, just like Councilwoman Malinowski Maxwell said, the cheapest isn't always the best. And I really hope that the council is mindful that what we pay for here, go look at the work that was put in place last year. I guarantee you, almost 70% of it has to be replaced. So.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Can I?
Well, let me finish. I'm just gonna say, I don't know either A&G. I did hear from the individual who seemed like a go-getter. And it's like, hey, look, I'm here. I wanna see it, like showed up to the council meeting. Maybe you two can work things out, but my bigger concern is actually, I don't know her or who A&G is, but my remarks on that is A&G is saying they're a remodel company, something you should really maybe communicate with them, tell them like, well, let me finish, just communicate with them, like remodeling probably shouldn't be the best bidder. Secondly, why are we taking them till 2026? From 2024 to 2026? Don't you think it's a little long?
It's 2.5 years. So
Yeah.
basically, Okay, so basically, if you, I think I copied everyone on the reason and the criteria used by evaluating, when I evaluate these proposals. So there are many things being considered. One is the number of streets that we have that are below average. So, and I'm looking at those, I'm looking at my budget, I'm looking at my Act 51 dollars and how much I can stretch it. So when I look at these proposals, I had 7 bids. 7 contractors bid this. I look at the contract. This contract is a unit price contract, meaning that 80% approximately of the cost of this work contract is going to be based on pavement. It's the pavement cost that's 80%. So when I put the price sheet, and this is what I review, in your documents, I believe I included all the bids with all their respective price sheets. Now, I don't expect you to go through it in details like I do. That's my job. But when I look at these things, I look at what's included from each bidder. So my number one, the lowest bidder, A&G contract, I've worked with them on multiple contracts before. Last year, and they also are part of the major projects like the CSO. They're subcontractors on the concrete for that project as well. So I didn't have issues with their equivalent. So when I looked at their prices and compared it to the 7 bidders, I'm looking at $70 a yard, $70 a concrete yard versus the next bidder of $91. So that's 30% exactly above what I'm paying the low bidder. Now, 30% of my budget, like I said, I have a very limited, I have 153.7 miles of local roadways with only $2.8 million budget. That's Act 51. Now, of course, I don't come to you every budget for budget dollars. This is Act 51. This is the gasoline dollars. So I'm trying to stretch it as much as possible. So for me to go with a $91 a yard, from a company, I really didn't want to go in more details on the next bidder because there were a lot of things in that bid that I don't consider ethical. Earth excavation, the bid for 10,000 square cubic yard of earth excavation, the bid, which has a price, by the way, of $20 to $30, the bid was a penny. Subgrade undercutting, 6,000 cubic yard with a value of $25 to $55. The bid was a penny. Base course for 21AA with estimated amount of 10,000 cubic yard with average industry price 18 to 39, and they came in on the bidder. The second bidder bid a penny. So that tells me that they know it's 80% of the work is the pavement. It's the pavement itself. So even if I don't give it to the low bidder, that company I will not consider.
So let me ask you a quick question, Mr. Deeb.
Yes, sir.
And again, I don't know her, and I respect you for coming here today, but I don't know her, and I don't think Ms. Rooney has any affiliation with this lady either, by the way. I really don't believe that. So I want you to know that the remark was uncalled for. But I want you to know, when I would look at Angel's,
I agree.
Let me finish. Let me go through. They charge us, and I still have the receipt at home. I might even have it on me. But they charged us $34,000 to put orange barricades around where they broke up the street floors. They charged us $34,000. And I have the handwritten receipt. Remember, I called you and said, what is this stuff? You said, like, they tarped some of the floor and they charged us for it. When in reality, you said that they were going to charge us $6 a square foot. Remember, and I was fighting with the former council chair, Dave Abdullah. I said, you're never going to find anything for under $6 a square foot because my aunt just didn't work. And I would think it was like $9 or $7 or $8 a square foot. I'm like, you're not going to find anything for cheaper than $6. Then I looked at the receipt. And the receipt, they started charging us. We ended up spending almost $20 a square foot by the time we were done with Angel construction. So I want to know if they may be cheaper, and that's great. Are they going to come back and charge us something? Because I'm going to look at the receipts, and if I start seeing barricades and I start seeing, caution, because I swear to you, on Angel's contract receipt, they charge us to put caution tape around where they broke. What are you charging me to cover the place up with caution tape?
So I only pay, this is a unit price contract. What you see in the price sheet, this is what the contractor bids, and this is what we hold them to. If it's not on that sheet, we don't pay for it.
Mr. Deeb, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Follow up. So last year, AG Cement you said they were cutting up streets, stuff was not
Yes.
being removed, you said you ran out of money.
Yes.
So I remember looking at their contracts and their billing. So you said that it was what, I just don't recall if Council Chair can pull up the paperwork from last year, the square foot was, but they were charging us for the cutting. They were charging us for the removal. They were charging us for the dirt coming back, the
Yeah.
finish, the grass, everything else. When you stood over there on that podium last year and said, this is the price complete.
Concrete, so the unit price,
So right now, what I'm asking you is that out of the 7 bids you got, although they wrote a penny or whatever amount they did the second bid that you're saying you won't recommend them because of that, but obviously, when they do work, we have supervisors and engineers
Yes.
on site.
yes.
They go there, say,
Yes.
hey, this is removed, rebarred. Because you remember the last company, never was you, we caught them not, I caught them not using rebar
Okay.
on slabs. So you're telling me that right now, so this company, it's Audio? Audio, so you're telling me they're not gonna put crushed concrete, it's a penny dirt, they're not gonna come back with dirt, or is that in their overall cost?
So, no, so this is a unit price contract. We pay for what we use. So if the base is good, I don't have to pay the base for the base. So every time we remove a section, we don't know the condition underneath, right? So if the base is good, we don't pay for the base, we pay for the concrete. If the base is short, we need to add, then we pay per cubic yard for the base. Same thing is true for every item. So if we have a catch basin that's in that work area, then we pay for the replacement. So it's only what we use. So for every location, every job that we assign for this contract, the invoice will have to match the work done in that location.
And so you're telling me that if hypothetically we were to go with their contract would not match that? Or any other bidder, the other 6?
No, what I'm saying is second bidder, I will be paying $91 per cubic yard, the square yard. That's their bid. I'm paying 70 for the low bidder. So that's right there. And
Hey, I'm sorry, not to honest, please.
here, I'll give you, but see, I don't,
I'm gonna give her
it's a
30
public,
seconds.
it's a public
I offered
bid.
her- I think she can speak for 30
Fine,
seconds.
but it's a public bid. It's a public bid.
And the council has the authority to choose. any bidder
Absolutely,
that we
absolutely. You can give it to the high bidder. I don't, I'm just explaining the rationale behind this, the unit prices. So 80% of the work for this contract is the concrete itself. That's been the average, because it is a concrete replacement. So when a bidder starts jacking up the cost of the concrete, but underbidding the other items, it concerns me.
Okay. Actually, Council Chair, is it okay?
1 second, because Councilwoman Maxwell wasn't done, and I'm sorry that I interrupted, so.
Well, like I said, here we have a company with 28 years' experience, and they've done work in the city before with no complaints that I'm aware of. In the past, we have rejected the suggested bid and approved the next bid on our own. When I was on council before, we did it, it was no big deal. I think she took the time to come here because it meant she was not treated fairly. I think in her eyes, she feels that way. And I think we need to look long and hard at this, what we're gonna bid on and what we're gonna vote on, because I just am not getting a good feeling about the other companies. They're a remodeling company.
Well, hang on.
It's not true.
Mr. Deeb, you don't know this other company, you said it to me.
I work with A&G. They're doing our major CSO work. They're paving the projects. They paved it last year. We didn't have any
They
issues.
did slabs last year, or sections.
They did sections, but they also worked as subs. They worked as subs.
Isn't the concrete done by Mark Anthony?
No.
Or
So
CSO or-
they're two different companies. Mark Anthony is doing the full replacement, and we have that on the agenda tonight. They did the 5 streets. Mark Anthony is a separate contract, not on call. This is on call slab replacement. They did sub work for the CSO project. So it's not Mark Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Council Chair? Thank you, Council Chair. To be honest with you, I don't have a problem with the bid itself. I mean, I know it's cheaper. My problem is, the same concern the other council member has. Are we gonna have the excellent service that we're looking for? I'm looking at the latest contract too. I mean, it does, so this is handwritten by them, correct, Mr. Deep?
Which
The other
one?
bids, they handwrite the bids?
So I have all the bids in your.
I
in
mean,
your
some of
package.
them, they're typed up, and some of them, they're handwritten.
Yeah,
So they're handwritten by the
well,
bidder?
it's typed. It's typed. That's the.
No, no, I
ANG.
mean, the other one, like the audio bid is handwritten.
Well, no, so the handwritten part is additions they added, so I'm gonna read it since you already. So for the ADA concrete, they wrote a note, ADA tiles
So
are not
they wrote,
included.
that's what I'm saying, they wrote that.
Yeah.
They're handwritten.
Not included.
Okay,
And then-
so, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, there's about 280,000 at the moment with the two bids difference. Plus, it says here, like, pricing may increase for 25, 26, so we're looking for a price increase. For the visits, they have a minimum of 4 visits for the concrete testing and compressive strength. And like Mr. Deeb mentioned, for the tile, that is not even included. So beside the 280,000 difference, we're looking for way more money. I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with ANG. I have a problem if they're gonna give the proper service that we're looking for. So if you're really 100% satisfied and you said you've been working with them,
I stand behind the recommendations. I recommend the company, if we have any issues with their performance, we have the right
unless if you
to.
guys feel more comfortable, we can take it to a study session and invite ANG in so we can hear from them.
I mean, look, I'm just giving you what, I just want to add on, like, I respect, I'm not sure your name, Ronnie, I respect you coming here today, but at the end of the day, you guys got to keep in mind, Mr. Deeb's going to be the one working with these people. You know, he's going to have to also work with somebody that he feels very comfortable with. And like, you know, but I do have, I mean, I'm a little concerned, Mr. Deeb, you're not alarmed that their website says that they're a remodeling company. That's what's scaring me at that right now.
Okay, so they're currently, like I said, they did work last year, and we witnessed their projects. They did it as subcontractors. Again, my main concern is I wanted to be able to do more with my very, very limited budget. I don't know how else to put it. 30% more for concrete is a lot of money.
Council Chair, just,
Hang on 1 second. Councilman Constance first.
Just, you know, overall, so our city engineer, we accept a bid, it's accepted. I don't have any expertise in this area, that's number one. Number two, I'm looking at A&G's website, and they say they're concrete excavation and demolition. And it looks like they're a fairly big company, they do concrete. I don't know that much about, you know, the bidding process, other than to say, you know, have somebody come here every time we accept a bid, and this is a large project, say, well, look, you know, this wasn't fair. Are we gonna rebid it? Are we gonna, you know, we need some expertise from Mr. Deeb, and we have it, and he says to give it to A&G.
I agree with him.
Council Chair.
Councilman Wenzel and Councilman Saab's next.
Thank you. Now, you said that the cubic yard of concrete, one's bidding it at $90 plus or something, 170. In the specs, does it specify the type of aggregate that's in the cement? Or, because you mentioned aggregate, I mean, is that's the stone in the cement, right?
So the cement, no, we don't specify, not to that level, but the compressive strength of the material is specified. So 4,000 PSI, 7 inches thick, square yard in place. So that's what this sheet was for. And the idea behind that is so everyone is on the same level field. When we bid that, we ask for each price separately. So for instance, so if we have an 8-inch, because we do have some locations that we found the concrete to be 8, found a lot of location that was a lot less than that, but regardless. So if we run into a section of pavement that is not standard, we have all these options, and when we put it back, we only pay the contractor his or her bidding price for that item. So that item, so if it was a 7-inch concrete, the square yard, we measure it, we say, okay, so you got 1,200 square yard at your bid price, which is why my main concern. If I have to pay $91 a square yard for 7-inch, which is the majority of my pavement in the city, that's the majority, I will be losing 30% of my budget. That's.
What if you have to put stone underneath?
Hang on, man, please, nothing.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have you, you're gonna have your moment. Please, nothing from the audience. Councilwoman,
Yeah, wait a minute.
Councilman Saab did allow you to go before him.
Okay, it just, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 1 inch thick or 10 inches thick, the price of a yard is the price of a yard. Right? I mean,
Mixing two things.
yeah.
Cubic yard, when you purchase the concrete, yes, that's a cubic yard when you purchase concrete. What we're asking for is 7-inch of concrete square yard, 3 by 3 square yard, 7 inches thick in place. That's what we're asking for. Yes, if you wanted to go purchase a truckload of concrete, that's different. That's cubic yard.
So you're, in your bid, you put out what they're gonna charge for 7 inches of concrete?
7-inch thick.
8 inches and
8 inches
12
thick.
inches? Do you know any 12 inch?
We don't have, no, this is for, no, 8 or 7.
8 or 7? And those are the two, they bid on that.
Yep, they're in there.
And there's bids for grading, doing grading?
So there's bid, which is what the lady is asking. So what if you have to do earth excavation? So we had locations, especially on Sheehan, where we cut the concrete and it turned out to be not 7 inches. So now I need to earth excavate to come up to the proper grade and put 7 inches of concrete, right? So we ask for a unit price for that item and so on. And if I find unsuitable base, again, another question, if unsuitable base, if we have concrete that was laid on topsoil, unsuitable base, we excavate that, put the proper stone, compact it, put the concrete on, the right thickness. That's standard stuff. That's what we do on every project. So again, it's more than just the cost that we look for. When we review this, we're looking at how much I can do with my budget and what is the main expense under this contract is going to be the concrete itself. That's the main, which makes sense, obviously.
Yep. Councilwoman, and then
Okay.
Councilman Saab's next.
At this point, I think we need to just take this to a study session. There's too many variables, and we're spending too much time and not making any progress at all. I think we've got too many questions, and a lot of them aren't going to get answered today because not everybody's here. And it's a lot of money for the city.
Yep, well, I'm sorry, Councilman Ahmad. Are you all set here, Councilwoman?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Councilman Saab, let's wrap this up, guys.
So I know Mr. Deeb is praising this company there, but honestly, their work was not the best work last year. And I'm gonna stand behind that. Honestly, myself on this council, I'm gonna vote no to this company, so.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, I am gonna go ahead and give you a quick 30 seconds, and I'm gonna take this to a vote. Do you wanna go up there?
Well, I mean, I don't know what more to say other than what I did say. The unit prices, I do see where he's coming at with ours being higher, but when you add in the earth excavation or the stone that would go under, I don't know. I've never done this project. He did it last year. So we wrapped all of our number into the concrete price.
Is that with the excavation and everything?
Correct.
So you wouldn't charge us any extra dollar?
No, it's all on here. I can't charge you any more than what the unit numbers are.
But, okay, and with the tiling and everything?
The tiles, so normally, most projects, when there's sidewalk ramps, there's a separate line item for the ramp itself and then the tile. So that's why we put the note in there that the tile is not included, it's an additional charge for the tile.
Wow.
And it's, yeah,
You should consider it.
consider just giving you the tile. The tile's expensive, that's why most municipalities have a
Is he
separate
gonna
line
give us
item
free
for that.
tile?
Six other bidders did not, so it was the only, again, I don't want to teach her how to do a bid, but other bidders did not.
She's been in business for
take
28 years.
Yeah, you're not teaching me anything,
Well, I've been doing this for 34 years.
Okay, you have a few years on me, you've got a few on me, you're
34
good,
years.
there you go.
All right, guys. Good, see, you guys are already making friends.
Yes, that's, yeah.
Good. It seems like you might be able to work with him, Mr. Deeb. She seems pretty popular in here tonight.
Council Chair?
I think we need
Mr.
to.
Deeb, are we short on time on this, that we?
Well, so I wanted to make sure that we get some of the stuff that's open before the season ends, and it sounds to me like if we have to drag this and not award it, it's just not gonna get done till next year. I have areas that I truly like to get done this year.
Let's take this to a quick, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I gave you the 30 seconds. I have to allow this meeting to continue. Mr. Deeb, I think we're gonna go ahead and listen to the recommendations of Councilwoman Menalowski Maxwell. And so, Councilman Saab, would you like to amend your motion? take this to a study session.
And
Just
invite
hold
the
off.
AG here too, please.
Sure.
Mr.
I'd
Deeb,
like
is
to
that
amend to
possible?
take it to a study session.
Councilman Constant, do you, second that?
Well, that was my question for Mr. Deeb. How time sensitive is it?
I mean, you'd like to get things done, but it's 2
We're
weeks
not,
from now.
we're not gonna get it done this year. I mean, we'll just leave the stuff open. I don't have a
It's
contract to
only
do
2
it.
weeks, so.
Now, can we do a study session next week, Tuesday?
I'll try to squeeze
Yeah,
it, not for Tuesday next week, but I'll try to get for Wednesday. Right after the holidays, Monday, so, going into Tuesday, let's make it on a Wednesday next week.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, even Council Chair, we can have a special meeting after the study session.
Yes.
We can vote on it too, since it's time sensitive.
There you go. George, let's do next Wednesday study session, please.
And special meeting.
And special meeting.
Councilman Constant, are you okay with that?
Yes,
Would you like to amend your motion, or would you second that?
yes.
Okay. Motion to not deny anybody. I guess just kind of go into to a study session. Ma'am, you're more than welcome to join us, but really, we're here to hear from A&G, Mr. Deeb, and then we'll go from there. Everybody on board?
Yes.
All in favor to amend this and table this and go to a study session, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Good job, guys.
September what?
Next up, we have 7C City Engineer Deeb bid award for asphalt pavement street repair program contract. Be up there, Mr. Deeb.
Council Chair?
Yes, ma'am. Councilwoman Menalowski Maxwell.
I move that Dearborn Heights City Council award the bid for the asphalt pavement street repair program contract to True North Asphalt LLC in the amount of $524,594.40, which represents the lowest bid plus 10%. In addition, authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the contract and the comptroller to return the bid bonds for unsuccessful bidders as outlined in 7C.
Second.
All right, motion made by Councilwoman Menalowski Maxwell, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? I will say something, Mr. Deeb, I am in full support of this. I know there's a lot of messed up asphalt across the city. You actually have been working on things like this for a while. So I do thank you for taking the initiative. Just please help out that doctor's office. Figure out maybe we can put a, like you said, kind of pitch it to go down and we can put a catch basin inside the alley. And I'd also like to figure out a way with deed restrictions to find alleys that are going to be vacated across the city.
So as I told the doctor earlier, Council Chair, is I did reply to his email, but I didn't want to take the steps until you guys either approve the contract or deny it. But currently, I don't call the contractors until I have council approval. So I don't deal with contractors until we actually have approval, so.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have Annapolis High School Homecoming Parade 2024.
Council Chair?
I'm going to let Councilman Constant read this one.
Chair, I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council grant permission to Annapolis High School to hold their annual homecoming parade on Friday, September 27th, 2024 at 5 p.m. with staging to begin at 4:15 p.m. Police Chief Swope and Fire Chief Brogan have approved the route and will provide any services as they may require as outlined in item 8A, and I'd ask for Councilman Wenzel, who's also.
I was going to do that. Councilman Wenzel, would you like to second that?
Yes, I'll second that. Thank you.
All right, motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilman Wenzel. Look at that. We have two graduates from Annapolis here on the council. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. 8B was removed. Next up, we have 8C, Mayor Bazey, resolution expressing concerns regarding the radiation waste scheduled to come to Wayne County, Michigan.
Council Chair?
Councilman Saab, Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council receive, know, and file the notification from Mayor Bazey for the city's support of the Conference of Western Wayne resolution expressing concern regarding the radioactive waste scheduled to come to Wayne County, Michigan, as outlined in 8-C.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. I would like to amend this motion to add every single council member on here today, from myself all the way across. I think all the council members would like to be on this as well, Mayor. Is that okay with you? Yep.
In that case, I don't think you can do it as known fire.
That's okay. Then we won't do it as an 05. We'll vote on it.
Okay.
Perfect. Councilman Ahmad, would you like to amend your motion to adding all the council members on here?
Council Chair, before I do that, I think this, the Conference of Western Wayne, it's just a board of mayors, correct? So I don't know if we can add.
Council Chair?
Maybe we can add our own resolution.
It's just showing support, and it's very time sensitive. I spoke to the mayor on this.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the hazardous waste that's coming across, I mean, I'd like to at least put my name on here saying that
I
I'm
mean, I would
for-
love to do our own. I mean, I don't know if we can suspend the rules and add our own resolution right now, Madam Clerk?
We have to have a resolution.
Yeah, we
Council
don't have a
Chair?
resolution.
Council Chair?
Council Chair?
We have, the mayor has one, we just add our name on it. Go ahead.
I think we should just approve this the way it is and then do our own at the next meeting with our names on it. I want to thank the mayor for returning my call quickly today because I did have some concerns and he answered them. And I think we just need to get this move this along and come up with our own one next time. Because like Councilman next you said that, I had a lot.
Councilman Nextman?
Councilman Ahmad, add our support
I'm
to the.
sorry, I just drew a blank. Anyways, you know, these are all mayor's names on this resolution. Let's do our own resolution and encourage other city councils to do their own resolution too, to give it more strength between all the cities.
I mean, since we're having a special meeting next week,
There you go.
I'll prepare a motion for next week.
There you go. Mayor, are you okay with that? Would you like to be on ours as well?
Can I speak?
It shows unity, Mayor. I'm just trying to show unity.
Well, can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Again, you know, this is not just the mayors, this is the Conference of Western Wayne, this is the board that actually represents all the communities in Western Wayne. So what you guys can do if you want, you can put a motion or amend this to say that you guys as council concur with the CWW, because they did put that up as a recommendation, a resolution, so you guys can say that you support
There
the
you go.
Conference of Western Wayne resolution.
Okay.
There you go. Are you guys okay with that? Damn. Bada bing, bada boom. We all agree with the mayor.
Moving on.
Unanimously, this is amazing. Great day to be in Dearborn Heights.
I would like to amend my motion to include all council members in support of this resolution by the Conference of Western Wayne and expressing concerns regarding the radioactive waste schedule to Wayne County.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad. You second this, Councilman Saab?
Second.
Wow, that's amazing. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have reports from city officials. Next up is 9A, Treasurer Hicks Clayton, request for special legal counsel.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Not next one. Just kidding. I move that the Dearborn Heights recommend that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the request for special legal counsel for Treasurer Hicks Clayton as outlined in 9A.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion on this?
Yes.
Go ahead.
My only concern is we have a limit on the cost that when we hire attorneys. This is way above that cost.
Council
Talking
Chair.
about the hourly rate.
Hourly rate. Right. I had,
Council Chair, may I?
oh, do you want me to answer
You want me to
that?
wait till?
Hang on 1 second.
Oh, wait.
Please, just 1 second, sir. Before I have Councilman Saab ask that question, I'm allow, maybe if you want to write it down, allow all the council members to ask whatever questions they have. Is that fair? So we're not asking a question and stopping and asking a question. So I'm gonna allow the council members to ask their questions, write them down, and then, Madam Treasurer, you can go ahead. I will tell you, I'm 100% full support of this. I think you should have done this a long time ago.
Thank you, sir.
100% full support of this, but I agree with Councilman Saab.
Okay.
350? This is worse than our labor attorney. So that's extremely expensive.
375.
You know, we're currently in, you know, federal court right now, and they're charging us $175 to $200 an hour. So I think 375 is way too much. So maybe you can take it back to your attorneys if they agree.
That's what I was going to offer.
The 175.
I was going to say, let me know what you think is reasonable, right? So I'm more than willing to take that back and share that and discuss that. So is there a set hourly rate that you are considering?
No.
Or should we wait, like you said?
Hang on 1 second, Roger. Please let the council finish. Councilman Constant?
I'm looking at the economics of law. The state bar puts out a study yearly, and for a municipal attorney, the average rate is $200 an hour. I just tell you, as somebody who's been practicing law for 36 years, the thought is that when you're a municipal attorney, it's not like being in private practice where you have to worry about getting paid a percentage on the dollar, that usually your bill gets paid 100%. But also, I don't know that this particular lawyer, who's been involved with a lot of different things with the city, is the right attorney. And also, I think it's premature for us to be authorizing them paying an independent lawyer to represent an elected official in a investigation by the city. If there's charges or something, but I don't think, we don't want to pay an attorney to, in the city, to be investigating the matter and then paying somebody to defend it or possibly obstruct it. I think it's premature at this point.
Thank you, Councilman. I will just add, I know when we did it for the clerk, she was subpoenaed, and we supported a retaining fee of $5,000 at $200 an hour. I mean, I would be in support of something like that, where the money's put to the side. If you need to use it, you know, you got $5,000 at $200 an hour, and then he can then, you know, eventually bill the city, and this is for city issues only.
That's correct. That is correct.
I have to disagree with Councilman Constant, which is very rarely do I ever disagree with Councilman Constant, but I think in the matter right now where, you know, an elected official in our city is being questioned, and, you know, she didn't feel comfortable being able to go to our city attorney for that matter, because that was the conversation her and I had. Hearing the fact that she went to a, you know, polygraph test, I'm so sorry. I'm completely like lost of words for that. Like, that had me sold that she should have had legal representation a long time ago. You know, you know, did he do work for the city? Sure. I mean, so did our former special legal counsel that represented us on the golf course. You know, nobody said anything about that. So hang on. I want you to know that that's where I stand on that. Roger, go ahead.
Thank you, Council Chair. I think I got a letter about Attorney Okuri, who represented Mr. Mackey in a matter before us, and then we have who was well-dressed as an attorney who spoke on behalf of the treasurer, brought it to our attention, the situation. I was not informed of anything with any lie detector test or any investigation until I heard about it from.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I apologize for
I didn't know, you didn't know, but we're not clear. According to the charter, it says, you know, he acts as legal advisor for each and every of the several departments. This is Corporation Council, commissions, boards, administrative offices, and agencies of the city, as directed by the council or the mayor. Now, if we're going to bring in a special legal counsel, the person that's recommended may have a conflict as representing an outside entity that will be privy to private information representing the treasurer. Now, I don't know if that person is going to be hired to represent the treasurer as the treasurer in her capacity or as the treasurer or individual if their charge is pending. And if that's so, we have to decide. I think it's, as a councilman who has 36, shy of 37 years legal experience practicing, that it's premature and we don't know what we're setting this money aside for. If a criminal complaint is issued or charged in her individual capacity, then that would prevent us from representing her. We'd be doing a disservice against ourselves. If there's an issue about the treasury and the county steps in and says that there's some issues with the treasurer's office or the fiduciary tools of protection, financial protections, there's a problem there, then are we hiring a lawyer to represent her in that capacity? I don't know, and I think it's premature, and it does not follow our charter to do so at this time. But as far as I understand it, the treasurer should be, like you said, should seek legal advice before you take any steps or admit anything or hire people or talk with people, because you have a privilege. You have a confidentiality, a privilege with attorneys that it can't be broken unless you break it by talking to civilians and people outside. Then the attorney-client privilege is destroyed, and Mr. Constant sorry, Councilman Constant can talk about that. To pay somebody now is premature because I don't know what you're asking them to be paid.
Okay, I got a question for you, Roger, real
Yes,
quick,
sir.
briefly. So you found out the same time that I found out, correct?
Right, yes, sir.
As the city attorney, what have you done?
I talked with the investigators that were doing it with the police department. I talked with, I looked at the materials. I've looked at the videotapes. I've looked at the cash in the safe unlocked. I've looked at all the documentation of the protections, fiduciary protections for the codes for the safes. I've talked to individual people there. I have not been hired or talked about, as I hired, but consulted with by the treasurer on this issue. But I've started my own investigation.
Have you reached out to the treasurer?
I talk to the treasurer on different issues every day, but not on this issue
subject.
because there is a criminal investigation.
Yeah.
Once that is, I stop.
Who says it's a criminal investigation, though?
The chief of police for the department said yes, and it's been sent to the state police. That's all I know, and that's all I'm going to talk about.
Chief of police told me he's not even involved in this. The
Well,
investigators
well,
and the
the
deputies, he had nothing to do, he said ATF got involved.
According to the, Mr. Cash and Madam Treasurer, she took a lie detector test with a law enforcement agency pursuant to the investigative tools of the Lieutenant Gazowski within the Dearborn Heights Detective Bureau, the lieutenant in charge. So therefore, there's automatically police involvement in this situation. Therefore, I step back, let them do their investigation. I do not get involved, and they do with it as they please.
I would tell you, I'd be open to a set aside of a retainer of a limit of up to 5,000. It's not being spent unless it's at the capacity of the city treasurer, not at the capacity of Lisa X. Clayton.
That
Because
is
at that
correct.
point, you would have to hire your own legal counsel. No money is to be spent from this retaining fee unless there are charges as the city treasurer, kind of like what Roger said here. But at least you know that the money is ready and, and able to be.
Just being
protect you.
proactive, because I will
Yeah.
tell you, in my 13 years of service to the city, including 9 years as a council member and 4 years as a treasurer, I have never used legal counsel for that benefit.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna go to Councilman
And I think it's
Wenzel.
being proactive is very important. I mean, quite frankly, not doing anything, but I want to be protected, and I have a
You
right to
100%
that
need to.
in the capacity of this job and this elected position.
Yeah.
There's an investigation.
Hang on, Mr. Owen, nothing from the audience. Mr. Owen, stop it, please. Go ahead, Councilman Wenzel.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Owen, please.
Thank you. It was mentioned that a question was asked about who determined this as a criminal investigation, and it was responded by the police chief.
Yeah. Police chief never said that, at least not to me.
I mean, is this through the police chief, or who's the criminal investigation through? I
He
mean,
said it was the detective bureau, then he changed it, so I think he changed his wording.
so, okay, so it's not the police chief that's heading this up?
Right.
I mean,
No.
no.
Police chief, you didn't say that, right? Thank you, there it is.
Right, that's it. So, okay, thank you, that's all.
Yep, Councilwoman Breyer.
I'd like to bring up another thing along the same lines. We did a retainer of $5,000 when we were representing our clerk, and apparently that money was never returned to us, and it was not spent by the attorney.
No, it would go right back to the general ledger when the
Has it
budget.
done that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what Plant Moran does. That's what the mayor does. That's
That's what I want to check.
you can't? Madam
I
Clerk,
want to
did
make
you
sure
use
we
it?
got it back.
Unless we put it aside in the following budget year, any money that's not spent, that's budgeted for, goes back into the general ledger. So, I mean, that's just budgeting 101.
Was it ever paid to the attorney?
Yes,
Okay,
they have a retainer.
okay.
Can we confirm that? Whether we have it or not?
Oh, okay, and it was retained, oh, so I didn't know that, I thought it was just set to the side. I wouldn't, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't even be okay with giving the money to Mr. Ankuni. I think what you could do is we can set the money aside for $5,000 at $200 an hour. And if something happens, we can automatically send out a check, we'll just approve it right away.
And Council Chair and council members, it is not my intent to even use this money.
I know.
I really would rather not and not have to. It's my intent, to be very clear. I'll make that part of public record.
Yep, Councilman?
It's a fact that this particular attorney has represented the treasurer personally in the past regarding her capacity. He sent me a certified letter, and then then the councilwoman filed a grievance, so he has represented her in her capacity. But again, it's too much, it's not the right person, it's premature. You'd have to have an agreement with him that, for the hourly rate, the reduced hourly rate.
I agree with you on the reduced hourly rate, but I do want you to know that Matt Schenk has represented the city and some of the people that work in the city many times. And we still went ahead and used them, and we still went ahead and paid their bills. So, I mean, Councilman, look, it's a very small.
No, the councilwoman said she's never used an attorney,
No, she said she never used an attorney at her capacity as an elected official. She didn't say,
correct.
she didn't never used an attorney as herself.
That is correct.
I think
I
that's
have
what
not
she meant,
used public
Councilman.
funds.
Council Chairman?
Yes.
You know, I'm confused. Who's bringing these charges against her? I mean, is it the
Nobody's been
police
charged.
department, or is it the
So,
state police, or who's bringing
what
these charges?
what initially happened, is from what I got gist of things, is if you want me to explain up to you.
Yes, please.
Is that the treasurer, there was potentially missing money. I don't even know what that number is. It was an investigation done by, I believe, our police department and the ATF and Director Vanderplow. The treasurer complied, she answered all questions, and I believe somebody else in her department as well did.
Yes.
And then they offered her, they continued to ask her questions. They then started sending, like, I received a photo from the mayor saying, treasurer, why are you leaving the safe open with this money, hanging out? But the treasurer said, like, I wasn't even there, and there's only me and one other person that have access to that. That was the first that I started hearing of kind of just a little bit of mess up. And then Mr. Oon came in here and started telling us that she did a lie detector test. I asked Police Chief Swope when I met with him, and he said, oh, I have nothing to do with this. This is with the detectives. It was actually the ATF that did the lie detector test, that assisted in the lie detector test. So really, I don't know what's going on.
Who's bringing the charges? Who's?
Mr. Winslow, there is no charges. These are
There are no
accusations.
charges? I think they just said there was a felony.
These are accusations. These are not charges yet. No charges have been brought up.
Charged with a felony. So didn't someone say she's charged with a felony?
No, she's never been charged. No charges have been brought against her. These are
Who's
accusations.
conducting the criminal investigation?
It was started off with our police department and our detective bureau and the ATF, and then it was transferred most recently, I believe, to the Michigan State Police.
So Michigan State Police are involved? Our detective bureau is pretty general, right? This whole thing, I don't know. It's just.
May I?
Council Chair.
Well, maybe I don't
You're
want
everything
to add
she needs.
Council
those
Chair,
questions.
hang on one second. Councilman Wanso, are you done?
Yeah, thank you, yeah, thanks a lot, appreciate it.
Councilman Ahmad.
Thank you, Council Chair. So I just want to say I'm in support of your recommendation. I think she has the right to have some money set on the side with the $200 hourly rate in case anything comes back as in her capacity as a treasurer. So let's go ahead and take it for a vote by amending that motion to make it $200 per hour. To
With
set
a
aside.
$5,000 net to exceed $5,000.
Correct. Who did the motion?
Motion made
I
by
did.
Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman.
I'll
Ahmad.
amend that motion, to make it $200 an hour of a limit of $5,000 to be only spent on anything with her in her capacity as city treasurer.
And can we also add on that if the money is not used, or, if it's not used and nothing, I don't know, the next 5 months, it comes back to the city.
It needs to be returned, that is correct.
Right, let's do that.
So also, if the money's not used within the next 5 months, it'll be returned back to the general, ledger.
Yes.
Or let-
General fund.
General fund.
Mhm.
Who second?
Motion made by you, you'd hit the second.
Okay, I second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
Madam Clerk, please take roll call.
Hassan Ahmad,
Yes.
Nancy Breyer,
Yes.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell,
Yes.
Hassan Saab,
Yes.
Moby Dun,
Yes.
Robert Constant,
No.
and Tom Wenzel.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-1.
Thank you, council.
Thank you. Next up, we have Chief of Staff Fernandez, new National Opioid Settlement Kroger Participation Package.
Council Chair,
Whoa. Councilman Constant on this one.
And everybody else, that the Dearborn Heights City Council approved the new opioid settlement Kroger participation package for the city. In addition, authorized the Chief of Staff Hernandez to electronically execute the participation agreement on behalf of the city as outlined in 9B.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is 9C, City Engineer Dib 2023 Street Paving Repair Contract, change order number 1, addition of 5 street to existing contract.
Council Chair,
Councilwoman Breyer.
I'd like to make a motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve change order number 1 to the 2023 street repair program to include 5 additional streets as outlined in 9C.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? A motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Hearing none.
Council Chair, maybe if Mr. Deeb, we're talking, I don't know, yeah, maybe just, because, I mean, we're talking an addition of $2.6 million. Sorry, Mr. Deeb, how many streets we had before?
So going back to our street conditions, so this is a full replacement. That's not sectioning. That's the difference between sectioning and full replacement.
Kind of like Beach Daily?
No, so we have Beach Daily. No, so we have 5
No, well,
additional.
we did with Beach Daily, I mean.
Annapolis.
Like, was it
Right,
complete? Yeah.
right. That's full replacement,
Yeah.
right. So the sectioning we had before is, so the guideline I have is any area that is 60% or less damaged pavement, I don't pay for the whole street. We do sections. It's much cheaper that way. If 60 or more % of the street is damaged, it's a candidate for full replacement. Full replacement is usually less per unit cost. By the way, I also like to point out to you that even the full replacement, they do price sheets for 7-inch pavement, underground, sub-base replacement. It's all unit prices. So different story. But anyway, so this is, we had 5 streets replaced last year. The contract is 99.9% complete. And again, the main guideline I have is trying to get the lowest cost possible. Contractor successfully completed 5 projects, did a great job, Mark Anthony. So we just asked if we add the next 5 streets, if he's able to honor last year's low bid numbers, so I don't have to pay today's cost. And since the contractor's still with us and he hasn't mobilized out and whatever, he agreed to honor last year's numbers with very little minor changes.
So we're saying last year was 2.5? That's how we're talking?
No, it depends how long. So I'm going to give you so we have 5 streets today. Annapolis, West Point to Madison, Evangeline, Marshall to Cherry Hill, Mayfair, Colgate to Dartmouth, Midway, West Outer Drive, McMillan, and the Costa Rouge Circle, Syracuse, Van Born to Hanover. These streets are all at below the 5 rating on our map. So these are the target full replacement streets. And if I can get them for the last year's replacement cost, I would jump. I mean, it took a lot of negotiations for us to get the contractor to agree to that price. I highly recommend we accept it, get the guy under contract.
No, I was saying the last year cost was 2.5, correct? Now it's.
But they're not the same length.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, there's this, I want to
Yes, sure.
confirm, okay.
Yeah. So we have one section, I believe it's over 700 feet, one of the streets. So it all depends how long the sections are. It's still measured by yards, so we still measure them. But these prices,
And
again.
you're saying that project is still in process, like it's not?
He had like, what is left on this, like minor?
Yeah, so Simone was actually Charlesworth was the last section of roadway that was completed. They completed it in early August, and currently they're just finishing up punch list items on on Simone, Sheehan, and Crestwood, actually, and Charlesworth, those areas.
So punch list items for the record is not pavement. It's like,
Irrigation.
irrigation, lots of irrigation, dirt behind the back curb.
Since you mentioned Simone, I had so many people calling, complaining about leaving like gravel behind.
Yeah,
It
dust
took
on the saw
forever to
cuts,
clean
the
the
streets were
streets.
never cleaned.
Yeah, so, well, I took many calls throughout the summer for all the projects, and we addressed every single call. We called everybody back. We were working with the contractor throughout the entire summer, and dust is gonna happen, and it's an
I understand
unfortunate.
about dust, but I did walk that street, and
Yeah.
they had actually gravel on the side of the street all over, which is, you can't even park your car. So, I did address it with somebody, but it took like 2-3 weeks to be cleaned. That's what I'm saying, on Simone. I know, Mr. Deeb, you were out of town
Yeah.
at the time, so.
Well, that would be if that's a surprise to me, because I was out there regularly, and so were my teammates, and we addressed like almost immediately everything that was brought to our attention. If there was a gravel if there was an area that was an issue that somebody was complaining about, I didn't receive the complaint because we would have addressed it.
I think I did send it to the DPW director.
Yeah, so we're trying to do now is channel all the stuff through one contact. So if we have things like this, I just received one on a different project, and it was DPW, and I just forwarded it to them. Hopefully it will not happen, but unfortunately with construction, we get dusty days, we get, people complain about creating dust when you're doing breaking pavement. And no matter what you do, when you break pavement, you're going to create.
This is after they poured the cement and everything, the street needs
No,
to be from the gravel, that's all.
Mr. Deben, we had that issue on Beach Daily too, and on Avondale. I called you guys, and I got calls on Simone as well, that it just looked like crap when you guys were done. Like, you guys finished and you just left. So maybe we should start implementing a way of cleaning the street when you guys are done. Like, you go to other cities, when the work is done, it's like they bring in these companies that will legit power wash the street after. It's never been done. So what you're seeing is the dust and the gravel of the Simone being brought out to John Daly, and John Daly looks like it's all dirty, and it's like, thank God bless our DPW directors, they're not out there, weekly out cleaning the streets, because one, they don't got the manpower, and two, there's so many other things going on in the city. So maybe you guys should, so when you think of punch cards, start including that in there, because the
So
cleaning
what
is
we
not
can
done by
probably do is work on each street separately, because the way they do it now, they have a subcontractor that follows, and I know that was an issue on Simone. They follow the contract, so they do a demolition, 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by the pavement, replacement. The last thing they do is the cleanup and the punch list items. So maybe what we need to do is start doing one street at a time. You do Annapolis, finish the punch list on Annapolis before you start the second. We can look at that. Cleanup is punch list.
I'm so sorry, Councilman. My last thing is, I see the names that we chose here, Annapolis, Mayfair, Evangeline, great, all these, and I know one of them was, I sent you an email from where what is it, Timber Trail, next to Inkster Road, where the Amazon truck popped its tire. I don't know if anybody knows the story. An Amazon truck was delivering and popped its tire because that's how bad the street was. Amazon tow truck came to get it. They popped their tire. Here's Timber Trail. Everybody, I swear to you, this is real in Dearborn Heights. And so I called Mr. Deeb. Is that street, has it been repaired? What's going on?
Yeah, so
I see other people comment on this street. I'm gonna lose
that
my
was a
mind.
sectioning contract that you guys just did not approve, so it
Why-
will have to
need a
do it.
sectioning. It needs the whole street repair.
Again, 60% or less, it's sectioning. Over 60%, we do full replacement. Again, I'm trying to stretch our dollars. If you wanted to replace every street, sir, I have $280 million.
I don't want every street. I just want-
I have we assessed all the streets of City of Dearborn Heights, and we rated every one of them. Again, I'm trying to stretch the dollar and use as little as I can. I don't know how else to put it. Our needs far exceed our budget. It's as simple as that. We have a lot of needs. We have areas where we have sub-bases that have collapsed totally, and they require it. But again, I'm trying to stretch the dollars.
Are we not doing anything with
Yes.
Timber Trail?
Please approve my contract so I can get to it.
It's irrelevant.
Council Chair?
Yes.
I'd like to put in this motion, Mr. Deeb mentioned it, that the contract is awarded and it's a street-by-street process, and they will not be able to start the next street until the punch list is done on the previous street.
Can we do that?
Can we do that?
Well, so I would have to confirm with the contractor, so they have, they're able to take their, the way they've done these roads, and one of the reasons they're able to do them more efficiently or more economically is because they complete removal on one street, well, then their crew that actually builds the road comes in and starts that in, and then the removal crew jumps to the next street, and they kind of tic-tac that way, and they're able to keep two crews in motion all the time. So it does two things. One, it's
mobilization.
You get right.
Mobilization.
More efficient, yeah. I mean, is there something we could do though to?
We need to work with them.
What punch is done? We don't want to wait.
Yeah. So what we can do, I hear what everybody's talking about. We can have them get out more often with the trucks. So there's a street sweeper, and there's two different kinds of street sweepers typically that you see on a job. One has a water application that goes right with it. That one is very nice because it keeps dust down, and it cleans very well. And so then there's the other that doesn't have the water application, and they had both out there this year to do that work. So I think if we can work with them and have a more robust street sweeping program to get out there with watering. See, there's multiple stages that require sweeping. So at the very end of the job, they have to blow out the joints. So they come in with their saw cut machine, then they'll sweep. But then they come back and they got to blow out each joint. Roads got to be clear, no parking, and then they seal each joint. And then after that, they do their best street sweeping effort right then. They'll go through and basically power wash the roadway.
Well, the street sweeping is one thing, but the backfilling, the irrigation systems. I mean, how are they paid? Are they paid like a monthly, chopped up into 12, or they get paid by the job when it's completed, or how?
Yeah. So the irrigation replacement is incidental to the project. So they bring in their irrigation contractor when they try to maximize their bang for their buck. They bring in their irrigation contractor when a job is right before they complete the restoration component. And so if they have two roads at that point, they come in and do it at that time. So what we can do is work with them and have them expedite some of this.
I don't want to have them get any money until all the punch list items are taken care of. I mean, I don't know who pays them. I mean,
So progress payments.
Yeah, so we monthly, they're paid progress payments, and it's based on work completed. Each progress payment, there's a retention that's held
10%
as a part of that. And so that retention is never released until all of their punch list items are addressed at the end of the job.
Can we increase that amount?
Well, so it's a pretty substantial amount. It's not a cheap amount. When you're looking at $1 million contract, that's a lot of money. But we hold it until they satisfactorily complete all the punch list items. And please keep in mind, damaging sprinklers have been a main issue, but that doesn't happen all the time. I mean, some of them don't get damaged. So it is only the ones that we know of. And when you see, it's close enough to the concrete that it gets damaged, yeah, they're responsible. As Vaughn said, it's
incident. No, right? I mean, they get paid, say it's a 2-year project, 24 months, they get paid so much every month.
Based on progress payment. It's called progress payment. You do 100,000, we pay you 100 minus 10.
Well, it's a big issue because every time we work somewhere, like people say gravel's left behind, the backfilling's not done right, or the curb's not the same height as the grass anymore,
So all of those issues have to be addressed. Like we hold them to cleaning, we hold them to the restoration, and we hold their retention.
I'll just add on to Council, I'm gonna let Councilman Sapp.
So I got a few questions. I walk this neighborhood every single day. I walk 6 miles a day in my neighborhood.
Wow.
I walk on Charlesworth. I walk on Simone every day. I'm not saying their work is bad. The problem is the city's lacking. Because once they're done with the concrete, the sprinklers, the dirt being put in and the grass replacement should not take 3 months. It just shouldn't. Because I walk down that neighborhood every single day. They're not out there. So if you're telling me you're out there a few times a week, I'm sorry, that's not true. Because I walk that neighborhood, I got pictures. Every single day, people stop me. When are they gonna fix my lawn? When are they gonna put dirt in between the curb? When are they gonna come fix my sprinklers?
Well, we are.
So is there a timeline for that in the contract when we give somebody a contract? I know weather and all that, permitting weather, well, why is it taking 3 months to put dirt back? The season, people's summer, we're in fall now, the grass is not put in, the dirt's not replaced. Yes, and Councilman Winslow's 100% right. Some areas in the curb, there's a difference of almost a foot. The grass is higher than the curb now. When are they gonna pitch that and fix it? Well, what's taking them so long? So you're saying that the crew comes in, one tears out, one replaces, but who finishes?
Wait till everything is done.
No, everything is done.
Oh, but that's what they're doing.
So what's taking so long?
I'll tell you what's happening here, and we had this issue with this, I don't know if this is the same contracting company, but whoever we have hired to do our punch lines,
They don't
punch
do 'em.
cards, they're horrendous, they're terrible. Like, I mean, so many residents have called, I mean, Van, you and I, Mr. Deeb, you and I, we went to a resident's house, they were screaming at us, yelling at us, they threw seeds on the floor that looked like weeds, they said, no, man, you guys ruined my grass. I spent, you know, this resident, I think, was like 65 years old. He said, I do 2 things. I water my grass, or I watch my grass get watered by my sprinkler system, and I cut my grass. My grass was amazing. Somebody from Wade Trim, your partner or your counterpart, walked up to me and said, oh, I looked at it on Zoom or I looked at it on Google. His grass wasn't nice. And I said to him, who are you to tell us that? This resident had beautiful grass. You ripped it up. It was all dirt, and you threw seeds on it. That's not the answer that I want to hear. And that came from Wade Trim. That didn't even come from the contract. It was Wade Trim that said that to me.
Yeah, I know.
And I
Andy
stopped it. I stopped him, and it was the man that you sent me to speak with. And I said, hey, don't talk to me like that. This man is 80 years old, 65 years old, is complaining, saying that his grass looks like crap, and he had, you know, amazing grass until we came out and did the work. Look, these punch cards that you guys say that we do, we're not doing the best job at it. We saw that on Avondale. We saw that on Beach Daily. You're hearing it on Simone. You're hearing it on Charlesworth. We're about to bring these people with additional $2.5 million to save us money. But the reality is, residents aren't happy.
That's
So
not
let's
the
just do
same
better
thing.
on that. Can we do that? Can you agree with that?
We can,
It's not about just pouring the concrete. It's about fixing the issue.
we put a lot of effort into all of it, and we will
I have to
continue.
disagree with you.
We will continue to
Go ahead, Councilman.
be better.
I would like to approve this, but I wanna amend something too. And Mr. Deeb, again, in the contract, what's their time frame to finish the job after the concrete's poured, sealed, joints are sealed and everything? How long so do they wait until winter, until these seasonal workers don't have their jobs about to be done to get them at the cheapest rate?
No, we haven't, okay.
What is the delay?
So for this, we haven't even talked to the contractor about schedule. So
But this is the same contractor is what I'm
Yes,
talking about.
yes,
Before we
yes.
approve this,
Okay.
what is the delay with them finishing their punch lists?
So the last meeting we had was supposed to be the second week of September.
So
why is it taking so long? That's the question. Because
they're-
other cities, and I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, other cities, I drive through other cities, Dearborn, for example, when they do a section or a slab or a section of curb or anything, before the barrels are removed, topsoil is put in, you got straw laid out, rolled off, it's done, everything's cleared off. We don't work like that. Why?
Well, I think, so in some cases, we do work like that. We have a substantially complete date where the contractor's held to have the work done by a specific date. They, in this case, for the 2023 program, that's in, I think, mid-September is when they're set to be off the site.
So we just wait 2 months, not touch anything, let the residents suffer, just because we have that deadline.
No.
And honestly, for you saying that, I'm voting against this contract.
No. So,
My residents mean more to me than a number.
no, that's not the case, though. That's not the case.
But I mean, we're paying you as a consultant to make sure the work is done in a timely manner. Believe me, a lot of people in our city take pride in their lawns and in their landscape and in front of their homes. They do. It looks like crap.
Okay.
I walk this neighborhood every single day in the streets. They did a great job on the cement, I'm not telling you no. But the finishing is absolutely horrendous. And now we're gonna wait until the mid-September for them to finish it.
We have weekly progress meetings, or bi-weekly progress meetings with the contractor, and we hold them to completing the work.
So what have they done in the past 2 weeks on Simone and Charlesworth that they made progress?
Well, we've determined that some ramps that need to be replaced, and they're finishing up the irrigation out there, and they've also been working on the restoration as well. All three of those things.
Look, clearly, guys, and House, if you don't mind, Councilman, if I can interrupt real quick. We were spending too much time on this. Mr. Deeb, you're the city engineer. You know, Van, you're the consultant here. The council is telling you the voices of the residents. People are clearly upset. Don't take what we're saying is that we're frustrated because you're not getting the calls, Van. And I know you say you take on a lot of calls, but I guess what? I'm gonna leave this meeting, the councilwoman, the councilman, we're all gonna receive so many phone calls about the terrible work left after the fact. And all we're saying is, make it better. You heard from me, I mean, Roger, guy had to get involved with the issue with the man on Gully. When you guys worked on that house on Gully. Like, it was the craziest thing in the world, like, fix the guy's sprinkler system, you broke it. You broke it, just fix it. You guys broke up the floor, you threw it on their lawn. You had to take everything out, you ripped out his sprinkler system. Why would he pay for it? Why would he wait and not be able to get new grass? We're paying $2.5 million, and it's to cover these things. Make that part of the job, like Councilman said. Don't just make it about just pouring new concrete. People don't care, okay, that's great, you poured concrete, you gotta finish the job. So let's stop delaying that part of the job. Because we're so quick to break it, we're so quick to pour it, and we're so just nonchalant when it comes to fixing the punch list. That's it. I mean, we can agree to that. That's all. Can you agree to that?
I will,
Thank you. That's all we're saying.
I will do that for these projects. I will do that.
Council Chair, just one more thing. If we can amend this, that with this contract being approved, that the punch list part of dirt and everything, because these are school zones too, that they would be fully completed within 3 weeks after this amount poured, or we're gonna hold back payment from them.
We can put penalties in the contract.
That's what I wanna do for the finishing product on these.
3 weeks are, 3 weeks after the concrete, 3 weeks after the concrete seems short.
You have
It's short.
kids walking up these cribs that are wide open.
Can we do it within 3 weeks? Is that reasonable?
That's a tight.
It's a liability to the city.
It's a tight, you're saying completely.
Fill up the dirt back behind the curbs. I mean, I walk in that area and people are always complaining, kids on bikes are getting stuck in them. Kids are tripping. It's not acceptable. Unless they're gonna keep barricades up there, they're gonna keep caution lines out there.
Yeah.
Any kid that's gonna injure, it's on the city's
By the way,
liability.
it's so ugly too.
Okay.
Yeah, so we could certainly have backfill in those spaces within that time frame, no question, and we often do. But we can certainly have that in the contract and make that happen.
Within 3 weeks, can we
Within-
amend that to the motion now?
That's good.
Councilwoman?
But those, depending on the time, depending on the time of year, the grass may not have,
I'm not talking about the grass. It's
Fill the
just
holes.
Fill everything back
You
up.
can fill the holes, no question.
And if they're not filled, what the penalties you wanna put, Councilman?
10,000?
Penalty?
Yeah, if they're not
Withhold
done with.
payment.
Yeah, no, but we're gonna penalize them
No,
for
we
it.
can penalize them too.
No, I think that's what you do, you withhold payment.
No, withhold them is gonna do nothing, they're gonna take their time, they're gonna get paid regardless, and I want a $10,000 payment per week, it's not done.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to ask the contractor if they agree to it. It's not in the contract now, so.
That's fine, if they don't agree, that's on them.
Okay, all right.
You know what, as crazy as this sounds, I kind of agree with them. But I think 5,000 is more.
10,000. When you hit them in their pockets, they'll do the work.
Okay.
All right. Councilwoman, do you want to
How am
amend?
I amending? Can I do it for a whole month instead of 3 weeks? Make sure it gets done.
Because we're towards the end of the season now.
Can we discuss it though? Because the weather is not perfect right now.
Right, but they're gonna pour, this is after they pour.
Right, I
You have 3 weeks
understand.
to just fill it.
The dirt has nothing to do with weather to fill it up.
So whether it's raining or not, they can just pour the dirt.
Yes.
All right, we'll leave it 3 weeks.
3 weeks with a $10,000 payment per
Completely
week.
filled.
Yep.
I don't think that's reasonable.
That's very reasonable.
We withhold payment, otherwise the contract's gonna have to be redone.
Right, that's fine, but if we hold payments for a month on them, they're still gonna get paid after a month. Well, how are we penalizing
We
them?
don't pay them until the
But-
grass is, the problem is corrected.
correct, but what benefit is that doing the city? Nothing, they still get paid their full
Guys, let's
amount.
go through the council chair. Let's just put this to a vote. Guys, we spent 30 minutes on this.
Yeah, this is too much. And
30
so
minutes.
simple.
Guys, nothing from there. I know. Guys, we're doing too much back and forth here.
Council Chair, Madam Clerk has.
Council Chair,
Yes.
so that we have the record accurate, can somebody please
Yes, Madam,
recite the
so
amendment?
what it's gonna state is
Okay.
that, you know, what's this company's name? The punch list is
Mark
to
Anthony.
make sure that the filling of the dirt is to happen within 3 weeks.
Punch list is done, fully completed within
No,
3
not the
weeks.
punch list.
So we're not gonna mention the, it's basically.
It's so, I'm trying to understand it myself, Council, just so we're on the same page, because I'm gonna have to discuss it with the contractor. So any formwork removed where holes are left in place have to be filled in 3 weeks or less, or you will be penalized $10,000 per occurrence.
Per
Is
week.
that?
After that.
After that, so
After the 3 weeks,
for the contractor, once they remove the formwork, is to backfill all the holes. That's reasonable. I can live with that, yeah.
There you go. There are city engineers defending it.
That's reasonable.
It's good with Ali B. It's
Hey,
good
even
with
3 weeks is a long time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just to fill.
But,
thought
I mean,
you wanted
because
to
they
do
can't
the
stop
punch
trucks on cement.
The punch,
You need 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for the cement to actually work,
Yeah.
to stop on it, drive equipment.
That's
You gotta be fair too.
All right, no? Love that motion?
Well, let's see.
You understand what the motion was, Madam Clerk? George kind of give me like the, we'll
We
figure
think
it
so,
out.
10,000 per week.
Per week.
After the 3 weeks, all
Yeah,
right.
after the 3 weeks.
Okay, Council Chair, I will make the amendment on behalf of the councilwoman. What we'll do is, with approval of this contract, the contractor is to fill any formwork removed within 3 weeks. Anything outside of the 3-week period is a $10,000 penalty every week, weekly, until it's complete.
Per occurrence,
Per week, well, per occurrence, that's per street,
per street too, per job. Or
per job.
All right, motion made by Councilwoman Briers, seconded by Councilman Saab for the amendment. Madam Clerk, do you have it? Okay. Backfill all curves. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Don, let's just
Amended.
keep it going. Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Police Chief Swope, WWCSOT contract execution.
Council Chair.
Yep, Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the Western Wayne County Special Operation Team WWCSOT contract, which was previously approved by City Council on August 13, 2024, by motion number 24-385 as outlined in
Bless you.
9-D.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, second by Councilwoman Menalowski Maxwell. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is Treasurer explain resolution to address the collection of payment or refunds on tax under or over $10.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move the Dearborn Heights City Council adopt a resolution to adjust the collection of payments or refunds under or over $10 as outlined in 11A.
Okay. Motion made by Councilman Saab,
Second.
second by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is Councilman Saab, amendment to resolution regarding the GPS installation requirements for city vehicles.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move that the Dearborn Heights City Council amend motion 24-335 to exclude the requirement for GPS tracking on vehicles assigned to the Dearborn Heights Fire Department inspectors and investigators who are authorized to take department vehicles home. This amendment aligns with the policy to the existing exemption granted to the investigative personnel of the Dearborn Heights Police Department under the original motion as outlined in 11B.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. I just want to kind of walk through this. This is not in retaliation towards anybody. This is not against the police department, like I heard somebody said that the council's doing. None of that information is true. Some of the fire department fire trucks, just like we give the exemption to our police
Fire
cars, some of our firefighters, fire cars, we're also asking for the same exemptions. And since we honor it for our police, we also want to honor it for our fire. We want to be in, we want to stand. And so I asked the Councilman Saab to amend this, and he brought it forward. So that's all that this is, okay? Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is Councilman Saab, resolution regarding budget amendment to removal of vacant position within the police department.
Council Chair,
Councilman Saab.
I did send this motion over on Monday. Doesn't look like it was added.
So, yes, it was added on Monday, but it was short notice for the residents to see it. By the time I added it to the agenda, people have already seen it on Thursday or over the weekend. So I think that's what Mr. Parrish was basically speaking about.
And I will respect that if it was sent that. I would like, if it's possible, to move this to Wednesday's meeting for the study session and the special meeting and vote on it then.
There you go.
And it'll be amended into that agenda.
So do you want to just go ahead and table this?
To next week's meeting on Wednesday.
Okay,
Wednesday, the,
okay, well, there wasn't a motion made, so you want to make a motion to
Yeah.
table the 11C?
yes, I will make a
Motion
motion
made by
to,
Councilman Saab to table 11C.
Support.
Seconded by Councilman Ahmad.
for 9/4, meeting of,
I got it, I'll take
September
care, I'll take care of that. Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. By the way, Madam Clerk, just for full disclosure, there is a meeting that day on the 3rd, I'm sorry, on the 4th.
On the 4th.
I'm gonna do it on Wednesday, the 4th. It's gonna start at 5 sharp. I do have an event at 6:30, which I promised to be at, that I'm speaking at, so hopefully this meeting will go by fast.
5 p.m.
Okay, Wednesday, 5 PM.
Make it 5:30, Councilman.
It's gonna be hard because I promised the afternoon that I will be at a fundraiser and I'm actually speaking.
Oh,
with
it's
them.
on that date?
Yeah, so we're gonna make it quick that day.
Right. Sounds good.
We can't make our fundraiser another day? Well, we're gonna have an hour and a half. We don't need to spend on 2 hours, we don't need to spend an hour and a half on two things. I know. A lot of street repairs. Mr. D is very popular today. Next up, we have temporary food truck cart license renewal applications for Hot Wheel Grill. Before we do this, I just want you to know, if you don't want to support food trucks, vote no. But don't stay silent, guys. Man up enough or woman up enough to be able to say, I don't want to support this. But don't just stay silent. So, can I get somebody to read this motion?
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
I move that the Dearborn City Council approve the temporary food truck cart license renewal application for Hot Wheels Grill as outlined in 13A.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have temporary food truck cart license renewal application for outside meat on the go.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the temporary food truck cart license renewal application for Alcide Meats on the Go as outlined in 13.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up is members of the public, comments from council members.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I just want to welcome all the students back to school. Please be safe out there. Wish you best of luck in this school year. And I'd like to wish everybody a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. Thank you.
Councilman, yep, Councilman Constant, go ahead.
Thank you, Council Chair, and I too want to echo what Councilman Ahmad said. The children are back in school. Our side streets, we want to slow down. Remember, it was last year, I think the young girl was killed in East Dearborn. And people need to, on our side streets, just need to slow down. I know the gentleman was here, I think he left talking about the drag racing on Warren, but everyone needs to slow down. Also, I'll quickly mention, we want to hold our local, state, and federal elected officials accountable for what's going on in the Middle East and Gaza. Recently, there was unprovoked bombing in southern Lebanon, where many of our residents are from. I know our economic development director, his mother's house, this was years ago, was shelled and bombed. It's election time, and we want our elected officials, as former council chairman Dave Abdullah used to say, to protect and vote on the side of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Council Chair,
I'm gonna go real quick, Councilman, if that's okay. I usually don't like to jump in front, but you know, I don't wanna keep getting into like the whole neck and what of things, but certain things have been come to my attention. I was at the grocery store today, and, I was told by a resident that as they were, when I was there, they took me to the side and said, hey, you know, the mayor and the police chief and another individual were going door to door and just kind of greeting themselves. And he said, while he was having a conversation with the mayor, that, you know, he was saying that the council is stopping him from doing certain things. And, you know, he basically played himself to be the victim and that the council is the bad people. This isn't the first time that I've heard this. You know, I get stopped so many times, but it's just now that the fact that it's becoming a political season, and to be able to point your fingers and say the council is always the bad people, and specifically my name is being used. I'm disappointed because like I don't get out here, I don't bash the mayor, anything I say straight to the mayor's face. But the fact that the mayor is just gonna go door to door or go to, you know, music hall, or I'm sorry, go to different halls like La Roma and talk to the owner as soon as he walks in, says, you don't even know what they're doing to me. I think one time me and Councilman Ahmad got stopped at a function. They said, what are you guys doing to the mayor? You know, he told us what you guys are doing to him. We're not doing anything. We're not doing anything. And if I have to break my silence to say what's really happening and what the mayor is really doing to this council, I'm gonna have to move forward on that. But I don't like to air out dirty laundry. I don't like to make the mayor look bad. I think the mayor is a stand-up man. But it's unfair that he's gonna go around speaking of this body, including myself specifically. I don't do anything in a malicious way. I'm not an evil person. I was not brought by my, you know, raised by my parents in such a way to be evil. And nor do I backbite anybody. But it's uncalled for, it's not fair. And really, if the mayor feels a certain way about me or this council, publicly say it. Don't leave during public comments. You have the opportunity to speak to the residents and say how you feel. But I just think that's childish and it's not, you know, it's not the way to carry yourself as a mayor. Secondly, my son's birthday is happening on Tuesday, so he's turning 3 years old. Happy birthday to my son. And then I'm asking everybody to enjoy an amazing Labor Day weekend with your friends and family. That's all.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
A few things. First and foremost, I've been in contact with DTE, with their public lighting director, and I've gotten a hold of our Public Safety Commission that I found out that DTE actually does our, you know, safety programs around schools and at certain intersections with lighting and signage and street lighting and everything like that. So we received an email from them and had a few discussions with them, and it's something that we would have to bring forward for council's approval. But they were just like, we pay for lights monthly through DTE, this is how this would be. And they do the consulting and do everything on our schools. Also, I think the years that we've been putting this off, consulting and everything, I think DTE is gonna jump in and help us out and work that, and we'll bring that forward with commission forward. And I wanna echo what Councilman Hassan Ahmad said about students going back to school. I wish everybody a safe, healthy school year across our districts. You know, I always tell parents, I know your kids, a lot of high school students have cars. It starts at home. Tell your kids to be careful leaving, speeding in the neighborhoods. It's terrible what we see every day going on in our neighborhoods. I did actually get a hold of the chief a month ago. I wanted to actually do a ride along and pay for a video to put the police department involved with it and put a notice out there that, you know, that we're enforcing this and zero tolerance. And the chief said to me that we might be in violation as an elected official, that they're not doing ride-alongs, and there was a law or a statute, and they had an audit on the 19th. I haven't heard anything back, but I'm just kind of disappointed that we let it go for a month and didn't get this out before the school year started, honestly. Because yesterday, a kid at Crestwood almost got hit crossing the street with the reckless driving we have. And I really want to still move with that video forward, regardless. And if Chief, you can send me that statute or that law that says that we prohibit this or in violation of this. I want to make sure it's a law and it's not a policy that's being put in place, because safety does come first. And my number one issue is neighborhoods. And you've been doing a great job, Chief, by putting people in the neighborhoods. I see them all the time, and they're racking tickets, and I appreciate that. Another issue is, Mr. Deeb, we addressed this about finishing of these streets. I swear I take a new route every day to avoid these streets now. because every time I walk, every single resident is pointing to the front of their lawn. Please have this company get on it. It should not have taken this long. One more thing too is I got stopped in at Dearborn Fresh over the weekend. A resident stopped me, same thing, said, Mayor knocked on my door. I gotta work alone, what you're doing to him, and everything they said, it's just, the mayor's one wants to play victim. And again, this is, everybody has a chance to talk here. If there's a personal issue, please address it. This is nothing personal, but to go on people's doors and say some things that are being said. Council Chair here said the same thing, that he's appointed by name, so and I'd like to address those issues with the mayor that he brought to these residents. I'd like these residents to come in one day and actually address these issues. And as for what's going on around the world, man, the war's gotta stop. We got family, friends, residents, family members overseas, what's going on. Like Councilman Robert Constant said, vote with humanity.
Thank you,
I'm all
Councilman.
set, thank you. And happy birthday to your son, Ali Deeb, or Ali Bidoun.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a
Councilwoman Breyer.
comment. I had a gentleman that I know over on Dartmouth Street call me, and I did talk to Ali D, and I think we referred him to the right place. He had an issue with concrete. Work was done on his street, west of Gully on Dartmouth. He had what turned out not to be just dirt, but cement in his wheel wells and his rocker panels of his car.
What?
Yes, and so we referred him to DPW because it should be taken care of having cement in your car wheels.
How the
It's not a
heck
good
did you
thing.
get cement in somebody's car? These contractors are funky.
So anyhow, I think that's hopefully being taken care of. He did send an email to DPW as Ali suggested.
Oh, God. How the heck? I mean,
It was just, yeah.
Chief, can you investigate that?
I'm already under investigation.
And to get it on both sides of the car in a driveway, how bad are they?
Probably really upset the
But maybe he drove through the actual, I mean, that's the only thing I can imagine. I don't think they were throwing shovels into his driveway.
I don't know, but he ended it with concrete in the wheels.
That is a little crazy. Anyone, any other council members? Councilman Mansell, let me hear
Council
it.
Chair. Thank you, Council Chair.
Yes, sir.
First of all, the Dearborn Heights District 7 Dads Club is wrapping up our soccer season. It's been very successful, thanks to all our sponsors, some of us up here sponsored this. We're starting up our flag football program. The flag football program is a great program for our youngsters, boys and girls, to get involved with, to learn the fundamentals of football and the camaraderie and the fun without the physical contact that's involved in tackle football. This year we're taking boys and girls from age 3 to 13. Wow. So if you want to sign up your child, or someone wants to sign up, they can contact myself, or they can go on the website, the D7 Dads Club. It's D7 DADSCLUB, and you can register there. There's contact information there. School is starting, so I don't want to take up any time, but I'm assuming we have all the crossing guards we need, maybe, kinda. We're doing pretty good. We're doing better than we did last year. Right? We're working on it, right? The police chief is thumbs up and shaking his head. Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Now, I want to bring this up. Maybe we should bring it up at another meeting, but we need an update on the fire station roof situation. I don't want to bring up anybody right now, but maybe we can put that on the agenda for next meeting. Also, I'd like to bring up at the next meeting the new fire station. Maybe we can have all the people involved with that, Ali Deeb, maybe Aaron Burns and David Kniezek, have them come in there and tell us the real story, what's going on, because people are asking me all the time, what's up with the new fire station? Where's it going to be? City Council up here, we have no idea of anything. Nothing. And this is a major thing. There's a $10 million grant that's at stake here, and we don't know anything about it. I think it's something we should put on the agenda.
Yes.
And as far as the radioactive waste, the injection well that Tim Emery mentioned, I'm really against any kind of pollution at all. We can't just look at today and ourselves, but our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, we got to leave them a place to live that's safe. And any company that's taken this this radiation, radioactive waste, the city shouldn't do business with them. If it's a landfill or a company that's involved in it all, the city should sever ties with these organizations. And thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Oh, wait a minute, I have one more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing. This Monday is Labor Day. And it's not just another day off work or day off with picnicking. It's to honor the labor force of America. It's to honor all of our union members out there who busted their butts for the last 100 years, giving us weekends off, giving us a decent pay, a living wage, and also all of our non-union members that work hard to make this country the great country that it is.
Thank you, Councilman Sapp. Councilman Wenzel. Councilwoman? Nothing? Okay. Next up, we're going to announcements from administration. Yep. Councilwoman
Okay.
speaking as the commissioner on the Ecorse Creek.
Yes.
There you go.
The meeting is tomorrow night at 6 PM.
I'll be there.
And it's at 3335 South Beach Daily. And then we have another activity in our area this weekend on Saturday. The RHS All-School Reunion is taking place at the Tyrone Wheatley Park from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and you're all welcome.
Thank you.
So anybody that went to Roosevelt or Robichaud,
Yeah.
and we will have music. We're not offering food, but we hope to have a food truck or two there. And
It better be approved by us.
should be exciting.
All right.
Well, I thought maybe you'd have somebody in mind.
Call me.
It cost them $75.
Next up, are you all set here?
Yes,
Thank you. Next up, we have our.
Good evening. Speaking as treasurer, I just want to clear something, because something was said tonight that was incorrect. Okay? Internal controls, and I'm not going to go into details because it's meant to protect employees and protect everyone. But our staff, our team has been trained by Michigan Department of Treasury's internal controls, including, like I said, staff training, policies and procedures in place. But the safe, it was mentioned, that safe is always locked.
Yep.
Okay? People have come by and you're welcome to visit, check it out. And also, everything when it comes to cash is under dual control. That's a basic fundamental for financial. So I just wanted to share that, and let's clear the air on any misconceptions or misinformation.
Thank you so much. Any other announcements?
Council Chair?
Hang on one second,
Okay.
Councilman. You've spoken. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm speaking as a,
I know, hang on.
yeah, no, I'm not speaking as a councilman. I'm speaking as an announcement.
We're doing administration.
Parks and Recreation Director Sal.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let
Yeah,
the chief
yeah.
go first, and then I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. after
No,
that.
no. This is, no, no.
Go ahead, Chief.
I'll make mine quick. So obviously a storm came through Dearborn Heights. There's a lot of like down trees and whatnot. I think there's the PD got at least 15 reports of down trees. I would assume there's a lot more than 15 out there. So I just want the residents to know and you guys to know that DPW is out there clearing things that are blocking roads and creating dangers. The police department's out there looking to see if there's any issues, but also that DPW will be out there tomorrow really taking care of business to make sure this stuff gets cleaned up as soon as possible.
Thank
So-
you, Chief. You're doing a great job, by the way. You're over communicating, and really, it's been the most communication we've got from the administration has been through you. Right?
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
So Chief, if there's a down tree, who they should call?
Non-emergency line.
Non-emergency line?
Yeah, the non-emergency dispatch line, and we'll send, we'll put it on a list for DPW, and we'll give that over to them in the morning, or tonight, as they come through. I would assume, once all the emergencies are done, they'll probably go home for the night so they can get there in the morning and really knock everything out when they can see, because you never know when it's dark out. You got down wires, you got all types of stuff. So we have to make sure that everyone's safe. So we hope everyone, watching and everyone here, no damage happened to their property, but if so, hopefully we can take care of it. So,
And hopefully they stay away from down wires.
for sure.
Thank you, guys.
There is a down limb over on Annapolis, westbound, east of Telegraph. Okay. I had to go.
Councilman Wenzel?
Thank you, Councilman. I'm speaking on behalf of Parks and Recreation Director Sauer, who's under the weather and is unable to speak at the meeting, though she's with us. Attention, this Thursday, August 29th, at the Campfield Rec Center, we'll be having our concert in the park featuring the Air Margarita. It's a Jimmy Buffett tribute band. It starts at 7 p.m. Great music and many free activities for all the children and adults. Thank you.
You sounded just like her.
Is there? Car show? Also, oh, that's right. Also a car show. That's right.
Thank you.
Same night.
All right. Next up, any other announcements? Administration. Okay. Next, we're gonna go to Zoom. Let's start off with Zoom before we go over to the public comments here in person. Seeing any on Zoom?
None.
Okay. Let's move it over to the public comments in person.
Go ahead. Boy.
I'm very
How you doing, ma'am?
Yes.
You have 3 minutes. Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Okay, hello. My name is Hamida Fatayan Tehran, and I'm a resident at Lamphere Street in Dearborn Heights. And I'm here to bring the issue of unpaved street. I feel like it neglects the appearance of the area, and it's like a safety issue. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention.
What street is that?
Lamphere. It's close to Islamic House of Wisdom.
Yeah, I know what's that. Right
Yeah.
at Ann Arbor Trail.
Yeah,
Yep, I know exactly where that is.
yeah. So
It's in front of one house or the whole street?
it's just a one street.
I mean, we will definitely make note of that. He's nodding his head.
Can you give George your information?
Yes.
Please.
Council Chair?
Yes, sir, Council.
Thank you.
Did I hear the young lady say unpaved streets or problems with the paved street?
Problem with the pavement.
Probably with the pavement.
Problem with the pavement.
You got it. She'll send an, we will send an email. Yep. We've talked a lot about a lot of pavement streets here today. Let's take care of that. Let's just take care of it. Oh,
It's
come
not
on up.
platted.
Hang on 1 second.
It's not paved.
Come up and speak at the mic then. I didn't know that.
So we have three sections of streets, and this is one of them. I visited that street. I wanted to add it. It is dirt road. It is dirt.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
And it's not the only one. But the issue on this particular one, I wanted to go and pave it because it's an easy stretch, except it wasn't platted, so I don't know the limits. I went to our assessor to try to find out where is the, how far do I have? 24, 40 feet, 10 feet? It's not platted. So that's the issue. We're currently taking it out with Wayne County. I need to know the limits before we put pavement, obviously, so I'm not a survey or at least know what's on public record. I mean, is it 24 foot wide or 40 or 30? Because we've got private property on each end, and what you don't want to do is end up on someone's property.
You think there's not even like a curb?
No, it's dirt. It's not platted. It's really weird. It's strange. It's for some reason. It's between Outer Drive and what's the name of this?
Ann Arbor Trail.
Yeah. I visited that. Actually, there's
Outer
a
Drive and Ann Arbor
mulberry
Trail,
tree
where
out
at?
there. It's awesome.
You're on the side streets.
It is.
I've been there. I know.
I love mulberry tree.
I knocked any road.
It's not the only one, Councilman. There are three other streets in that location. No, yes. Yeah, it is. It's three, there are three more, and the city is aware of them, but I'm working with the assessor to try to see what do we need to do. If I can go to the county records and figure out plat the street so I know the limits, and they'll be easy to pave. I mean, we can asphalt that street. I just
Is there
thought.
drainage?
No.
Storm sewers?
No, interestingly enough, one catch basin at the tail end. So that means there's something there. But again, not a ditch. No, it's a catch basin. They actually have a basin. No ditches, and the streets and their houses on one end, and the east side or the west side has one continuous piece of property with a fence and mulberry trees. But
Crazy.
Just let's get it.
we're
George
aware
got
of
our
that.
information.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Owen, I know you asked for an additional minute, so give him 4 minutes. Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street you live on.
Good afternoon, Hassan Ayun. First of all, you guys heard Ali D what he said to me, that I got paid for this lady. I don't even know her. False accusations happen in this city council today. So let the record reflect that Mr. Deeb, I am allowed to file a lawsuit against Mr. Deeb for false allegations and saying they're trying to say that I got paid from the lady. I just met the lady. He's so urged to sit there and get the other company so bad, so bad. I don't understand why. It comes to my attention that if I'm pushing for a company, that company only, something's wrong. Why am I pushing for that company? That company probably has, who knows? Do they have rocks inside the cement? It's quality. You need to have quality. Last time, Mr. Saab said that somebody was dumping in the drain. Am I correct, Mr. Saab? Correct. So we get another outside company. 28 years the company's been here. It's a no-brainer. I don't even know the lady. But it's a shame, and he comes up to me and tells me that. And, I don't have to sit there and tolerate this guy. You got this guy working here, and you got another company working here, and, this guy wants to sit there. You don't have to apologize.
I want to, because I respect you, Mr. Owen.
Because this is what happened is a situation where I don't even know this lady.
It's uncalled for.
I don't know her. It doesn't make sense. I don't even know who she is. I was going to talk about a subject, but when she's talking about something, comes to my attention that he's pushing for this, and there's a reason why he's pushing. He got mad. Why? Because I'm telling the truth. When I tell the truth, people don't want to hear it, and that's the problem. That's that issue. I got another issue. Hype Athletic Center did a festival, and Mo Baidoun, I know that's your friend. No problem here. I know you guys know this individual, but when you hit a kid in the face, we have a problem here. Swope got the video, and got another video that I did today where there was another incident that happened, and you guys are approving permits, outside permits, when this guy has a nonprofit organization making money. He worships the dollar, doesn't care who's involved. There was kids there. Let's be honest with each other. Why are we doing this? Why are we approving outside permits for a guy that put his hands on a kid instead of devolving? There's a girl sitting there pushing everybody away. Like a girl, like a young girl pushing everybody away. Instead of him trying to calm the situation down, he's escalating the situation. This is uncalled for. You guys want safety? You guys believe in safety? Am I correct? When there's no safety here, and the owners putting their hands on a kid, we have a problem here. So I'm asking City Council to revoke all licensing, outside license, for Mr. Ali. No, this is a topic that it's very sensitive topic. When it comes to children, I advocate for children.
Sir,
what about that guy? Hold on. I'm not done talking.
Let him finish his time. Don't interrupt him.
Just no names,
Just
please.
point of order. Let him finish.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I can say whatever I want.
No, you can't.
If it's true, I can.
No, you can't.
Roger.
What are you arguing with me for, man? What's your problem?
What's my problem?
Yeah, you're arguing with me for.
Stop. Roger, let me tell you something, please. If a resident wants to get up here and talk about a cat for 3 minutes, let him talk about a cat. If he wants to talk and say whatever he wants to say, he has his constitutional right of freedom of speech. Stop, Roger. The individual he's speaking about does not work for the city.
Why do we restrict certain things addresses?
Just let it go. Let it go. I think I've watched a few videos on YouTube. Just let him.
I just put my warning in.
Thank you. Just please let it go, Roger. Thank you so much. That's it.
And
you got 5 seconds.
I just want to ask, was there a police report filed? There was no police report filed. Like, this is ridiculous. Guy punches some guy, and there's a Wayne County person, doesn't even call the cops. There was Wayne County there. Did nobody call the police?
Did the individual that was punched call the police?
It doesn't matter. Incidents like this have to be reported.
Were you guys made aware of this? Do you hear about it after Mr. Owen? No, just from him. Did you investigate it after he told you?
So you get reserves there, and they're not. If this keeps continuing, one day you hear of somebody getting killed. Very simple, and this is what we don't need. You want to keep Dearborn Heights safe? Quit giving the guy a permit for outside. He hit an individual. It's on video.
Your time
Very
is up.
simple.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Rose Trepepi, ladies and gentlemen. You got 3
Rose
minutes.
Trepepi, 2 Lane Street, Dearborn Heights. 2 weeks ago, I was on my phone on vacation, and I tried to ask questions, but somehow somebody ignored me or whatever the reason was. But you heard about it. Anyway,
I didn't do nothing.
I asked a month ago, I'd like to know what's going on with the fire department. Where are those guys sleeping? What are they doing with the building? I want to know, and so do some of the other residents.
I will tell you, I've reached out to the administration. I did not hear back about 3 weeks ago. I know Councilman Wenzel has just asked about it, and he's called me on it, believe it or not. But from what I last heard was Wade Trim they went out for bids. The roof is out for bids right now, and then we have bidders that are looking to do a complete repair on the roof.
They're not still sleeping in that building, though, are they?
Well, now they've said, I spoke with Phil Hall, and he said the men and women that are there do not want to be separated, and they do not want to not sleep in there.
Okay, so if 10 years from now, we have lawsuits for somebody being sick. That's the one thing. Secondly, people, and I know you guys get the beating for everything, and I understand that, but the residents need to understand, it's not you. You are just our beating post. It's the administration, and I don't know how you can hold them SOBs accountable for what they don't do, because you would be held accountable if you didn't do it. You have a job, make them accountable. How, I don't know, but I'm going to find out for you. Thank you, and have a nice night.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. How you doing, sir? Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Mike Blackburn, Arnold Street, Dearborn Heights.
Yes.
First thing I want to say is, if anybody on city council wants to look at the poor street job that was done in front of my house before next week's meeting, be happy to contact me. I'll take you out and look at the bad job before you make a decision, because a contractor that did it may or may not be on that list, and I'm not going to mention any names in public. So if you want to look at an honest job and see how bad it is, just get hold me on that. Second of all, I am demanding a cease and desist of my name being used in public. I am being slandered. I am being defamed. Even though I've never had a problem with Roger, Roger tells Mr. Anoon not to use names, but yet he used my name in public. I will exonerate myself, and everybody that has slandered or defamed me will be held accountable for their misdeeds. This is really irritating, and a lot of false information is out there. And that's all I'm going to say before I get myself in trouble.
Thank you, Sir. Anyone else in the audience? Please step up, sir. State your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Hi, my name is Mohammed Sroor. I live in North Silver Lane, Dearborn Heights. I'm the owner of Hot Wheels Grill, the food truck. If you give me like more than 3 minutes to explain my situation.
You're all set.
I know, but
you're good.
Okay.
You're approved.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was fast. You're okay.
We said yes.
Anyone else? Hearing none. Anyone else on Zoom? I'm going to give another opportunity.
Good luck.
Nobody else on Zoom?
Motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn by Motion to adjourn by Councilwoman Menalowski Maxwell.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries.